Oh, yeah, I should.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
You didn't hit the button.
I'm going to, but this is special. This is very special. Just as special as someone's notifications going off in the background there. See? So we're going to start the show in like 10 seconds, everybody. With a brand new intro from Mikey. So thanks for making it. We're going to listen to it live for the first time ever. You be the judge. If it blows balls or not, post in the comments. So here we go with the show.
Podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hey, listener. This is Venice, and you're listening to Voice from the Underground, hosted by
Big Head, you know what I'm saying, and just...
If this is your first time listening, here's a little insight.
They be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
If you like what you hear, leave us a rating and share our show with your friends.
You know what I'm saying? Me on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check one, two. This is Flavor Flav for the Underground Podcast. Yeah, boy.
Welcome to the Underground.
Big Haas. Your reaction. Are you stupefied over there?
It's pretty good. I like it.
Can I say real quick? The new lighting. You look very much less threatening.
Oh, because I'm lighter?
Yes.
Fuck off.
You look so much less ominous than normal. I mean, I almost would let you fix the locks on my house.
You know what they say, Haas?
This motherfucker. What?
You know what they say, Haas? Light, bright, damn sure ain't white, right?
You know I'm totally off script right now.
Hey, welcome into the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I love you, Haas.
It's Jason Dutch. It's Big Hussein. That was the new music by right there. That guy, Mickey Antifa. Thank you, sir.
Michelle Famigny.
How you doing, Michelle?
With the bigly intro.
Another successful intro finished. I left in Flavor Flav fucking up the name of the podcast just because it's
fucking up my name too.
Because it's so funny.
Check out Has.
Yeah, actually,
I couldn't edit it out. It was just too beautiful. It had to stay.
If you realize on the one that I did, I actually slowed his voice down a little bit, so it sounded more like he said Haas than Haas. But I'm like a perfectionist with that stuff. All right, so we got a new intro. I like it. I'm gonna have to listen to it because whatever I play, I can barely hear it. So I have to listen to it by itself but eventually I'll get so used to it that it'll be like second nature. It was really weird though, like because it's the same, but it's not. So it was throwing me off the whole time. I was waiting for stuff that wasn't going to happen.
You chopped and screwed my song up, so the phrasing you had was wrong. So that's how it's supposed to sound.
You sent it to me, therefore you gave me all rights to that.
I'm just telling you, this is why yours sounded weird to everyone else. I mean, just me, is because I knew that's not how the song originally went.
So everyone else loved it. Except, all right. So our king is here. Ding Dong, the president of the United Big Head Media, is here.
That's right. I carried every state.
Marco Rubio Felipe Alvarez, what's happening?
Not much. How you doing, guys?
We're
new intro, same shitty show.
You do look like Marco Rubio a bit right now.
I do. Oh wow,
just a bit. Yeah, the lights are off though. It's very see now. You look threatening.
That's right.
Yeah, Haas looks safe, and you look threatening. What's wrong with you?
I feel safer around Haas all the time.
I'm guilty of corporate crimes.
Depends on the situation.
That's correct. Okay. All right. So nothing going on this week.
See you guys next week.
Absolutely.
We got
So
the best thing going on about this week was let's get a review of Busta Rhymes album.
Extinction level event
2, The Wrath of God.
God.
I didn't know that Busta Rhymes had a new album.
Of course you did.
Serious.
No, I don't pay attention to music anymore. So yeah, that's why. Of course I did. Yeah, absolutely.
Busta Buzz came
I haven't
back
watched any music since like anything after 02. I don't listen to anything.
Well,
That's disrespectful.
Need to decalcify your pineal gland and get up on this Busta Rhymes.
You're gonna love my nuts.
Crazy.
I don't mind listening to it. I listened to a couple of the Eminem tracks. I listened to a couple of the Kanye tracks on the album. What was it, like 2 years ago? Pearl Jam came out with some new stuff a while back. So just I'm biased. I'm biased towards the 90s. Make America great again. Make America great again, like it was in the 90s.
Let me. As a musician and a producer and a DJ, grunge is not coming back. It deserved to die. I'm sorry. I hate to be the.
We are alive.
Even though I did love grunge. I did love.
It was
the alt rock era.
It was a fun time, but it's not sustainable.
I was like, I need a flannel shirt, dude. Because I was at Eastern. I was trying to,
You had to get in the mouth.
I had to put my sheep's clothing on, if you know what I'm saying.
You know, Haas had the ripped up acid wash jeans with the black t-shirt and then the flannel going tied across the waist.
Here he is, folks. Uncle Tom Big Hussein.
One of those knit hippie hats.
Oh yeah. Gotta have that.
Get back to the dorm. Gotcha, bitch.
Here they are, the Wigger and the Bonky.
Wow.
It's like you're so diverse.
Yeah, I just want the vagina.
I got something diverse for you.
I got something very veiny and diverse for you.
Oh God.
Oh, Mark looks disinterested. All right.
He got a little closer to the microphone when I said that.
Well, he's already right. It's already right there.
He leaned in.
Approximately the right size, right?
Oh God.
Oh my geez. All right.
That's why it's so dark in his room.
Let's start.
I have pictures of you on the wall. I'm in the shrine right now.
Right.
A picture of Haas on the wall darkens the room.
Yes.
That's crazy.
From the waist down.
That's crazy.
There's 1,000 candles lit in this room right now. It's just that dark though, because of us.
That's right.
I smell baby oil. What is that?
And glitter.
How you smell glitter?
Oh.
I smells it.
There's a story behind that.
I smell glitter. I smell glitter. I want that on a t-shirt.
I woke up with glitter on my dick.
Oh my goodness. We've all been there. We've all been to Vegas.
That's for the level 3s. Oh no, Mike. When I went to Vegas, I got married, and that was the only time I went.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was stupid. Guess what? It ended in divorce. So,
There's that.
I've got to go back to Vegas. One of my boys, Coldest lives in Vegas now.
I've got a few friends. I used
he?
to live in Vegas for a while. I've got a few friends that live in Vegas.
I've got to go. I got to
Road
go
trip.
and actually go and have fun in Vegas instead of going and having a fucking panic attack because subconsciously I knew I was marrying the wrong person.
Right. Let's go now and hang out with all the Trump fans with their machine guns outside the Clark County Counting Center.
So here's the thing. I think Haas, the way that we spin this is a story. We have to go do the podcast on location.
Yes.
There you go.
This is post-election coverage live event. We have to go there.
Yes,
That's
dude,
a tax
Dudley Whitworth
write-off.
here. I'm live at Luxor. I'm live at Luxor. The fuzzy boot bitches are dancing, and
They got the Uggs on.
they've got the woolly mammoth boots on.
The snuffy boots.
They're doing some dance called the Macarena.
Yes.
Macarena.
The left boot says MAGA, and the right boot says "Stop the count."
They're dancing to YMCA, but they're doing
They're saying MAGA.
What
Yes.
this-
Yes.
It's like Borat. What's this means? Is my wife is on the car. She's not allowed in.
She's not allowed.
The price is wrong, bitch.
I got to get a Borat too.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
So-
I love Borat.
So Joe Biden, I hear you won.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Okay. So Trump, I hear that you won.
You are fake news.
Okay. Real quick. So we've been talking about the election all fucking week, nonstop for 3 days. I know at least Mikey and I have. Haas has been on other shows too. I've been streaming. I've been guesting on like 6 other shows. Thank you to the Ben for bringing me on. And then I don't know who that other guy was, but he was cool.
Nathaniel and
Susan. And Susan.
Yeah, he
didn't
have his name on there, so I can't remember what his actual real name was. But
I'll put
Nathaniel, the statistician.
Yeah.
Yes.
And guess what? What he said was going to happen is happening right now.
Yeah, what he said. So I'm happy that he is right. And for those of you that didn't see, I put up a show that predicted the election 2 days before, based on some research that I did. And
you're a liar.
Unfortunately, I was really close to being right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you asked.
I was really fucking close to being right. In fact, so far I'm only off by 1 electoral vote, literally, and that's the one I gave Trump 2 in Maine, and I thought he was gonna, and he ended up only getting 1.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to talk about the election the whole show, but I do want to start with it. So just real quick update here. I'm going to share my screen, just show you a couple of pages I have on my screen here. So according to depending on where you go, Google, which is the AP, has Biden at 264. And
Arizona, like Fox News.
Yeah, they gave him Arizona, and they've given him Arizona, and then so has Fox. As you can see, Fox has also given Arizona that's 264 214. Listen, call Alaska.
What the fuck is that?
I mean, just stop. All you're doing is making yourselves look stupid. Call Alaska, everybody. It's fucking over.
Sarah Palin's counting the vote there, so it's going to take a while.
Yeah, but she would have called it at 6 votes. I have four votes for a moose and 2 for Trump. Trump won. CNN is at 253 to 213. So
as soon as she ran out of fingers, toes, ears, and teeth,
she was done.
She's got nothing else.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes,
and teeth.
Antifa. Oh, you see that? How he slipped that in there?
Yeah. I saw that.
And just for the record, for anybody who is new to the show, fuck Antifa. I'm not Antifa. They just like to call me Antifa.
Well, Antifa is an ideology. What did Callie call them?
No. Mikey is an idea. Antifa is a real terrorist organization. But Mikey Famine is an idea.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Don't box me up with them.
So, question I have for you, Mark.
Sure.
What the fuck happened in your home state? I thought Biden was supposed to win by 14 points.
Well, what's
going on in Michigan, the Wolverine state? I mean, you got it, but still, you fucked
here's
up.
The thing.
You have some splaining to do, Lucy.
Biden carried it by about 100,000 or so votes. So, I mean, not a super close margin. We've got, I'm in Wayne County, which is the big one, where Detroit is and everything. That's the largest county in Michigan. And he did very well here.
Is it that dark everywhere in Wayne County or just where you're at in your room?
Yeah, this is the lighting in southeast Michigan.
Right.
It's winter. The sun is gone now. But the thing is as you kind of pointed out with the map that you put up, now it wasn't exactly correct, but there is a big polling problem in this country right now. And part of it is changing demographics. Part of it is pollsters who use methodologies that worked when everyone had a landline phone, that they didn't have caller ID, and they would pick up and you'd get people. A big part of the problem is especially in Michigan, we're a little parochial here in Michigan when we get calls from people out of state or from we don't deal with people from out of state if we can help it usually. But
that's the goddamn bill collector, man.
Right, exactly.
Nice try, Fannie Mae.
Right. Or somebody calling you, somebody trying to talk to you about your goddamn car's warranty.
But yeah, so the response rate is very low nationally, just in general, but especially in Michigan. And because of that, when the response rate's really low on a poll, then you have to do a lot of waiting. And then it becomes more of a guessing game, more of an art form than it becomes a scientific endeavor. The more you have people responding back to polls, the more accurate polls are going to be.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem that they have right now. And I mean, going forward, it's going to be really hard for campaigns to figure out where can we spend money? Can we flip Texas? How close are we getting to flipping Texas? Should we spend a bunch of money on this state? Should we spend money here in this county, because usually the polls would guide you there. And, they really don't now. So, going forward, I mean, I don't know if Trump's going to run in 2024. God forbid. I don't know if Biden's going to run for re-election in 2024.
He might just turn it over to Kamala.
That's my guess. But
I just real quick, I think Trump they're already talking about it.
Oh,
literally.
I'm sure.
Donald Trump Jr. is already indicating basically that he's attacking the 2024 candidates, the possibles already.
What kind of shit is that?
So it's like,
you ain't even got your ass whooped completely in this one yet.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the big problem. That's a big problem with Michigan. That's the big problem with polling nationally, because it was off everywhere. I mean, there were polls.
You got it. Can you read the comment here? Hold on. Let's put this up.
Oh yeah.
So this is from our boy Tim.
The response rate
over at the Writer's Basement podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's a big part. And Tim, that's right. That's a big part of the problem, is that they try to get people on. So who answers a phone anymore? If you're not texting me, like who answers a phone anymore? That's a big part of the problem.
My wife got a call. She didn't answer it, but it said political call.
Oh, interesting. So they're labeling them now.
Yeah. So I don't know if they always come up that way. But anyway, I interrupted you on your
I'm totally off script right now.
I interrupted you on your Michigan spiel.
But I was just saying that polling seemed to indicate that Ohio was possibly in play. Ohio obviously wasn't in play. Ohio, which is the state just below us, for the geography majors out there, is not it's trending pretty reliably red. Florida is also trending more reliably red. It takes an Obama. It takes a transformative, very charismatic candidate to flip those two. They can be flipped, but you gotta be special to flip those two. Otherwise, they're trending pretty reliably red. And it seemed like both of them were, like that Biden. I saw some polls where Biden, was up by 5-6 points in both those places. And I even said to myself, because I know a lot of those people in Ohio, I even said to myself, I don't know, like that doesn't seem
right.
That doesn't seem wholly accurate. And lo and behold, it's not. So it's a big problem. But Michigan tends more blue than red, but there's a lot of rural counties in Michigan, just like in places like Pennsylvania and places like that. There's a lot of rural counties, and there's a lot of people out there Michigan is a schizophrenic state. There are places.
Yeah, what is it with that element? You actually went right where I was going to go. With Whitmer and the attempted abduction, and one of the guys who was going to try to abduct her was an anti-Trump guy because not anti-Trump like he was way right of Trump.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So he thought Trump was not right wing enough, which very similar to this the Pittsburgh synagogue shooter.
Yep.
It's like, Trump, I thought he's going to be way more right than this, and then he went and did some terror. But what is it with because you guys had the occupation of the city hall during COVID. You've had a lot of your Trumpers are really extreme Trumpers.
Yep. So the Republicans in this state are, they're not, I don't like to use like coastal elites or whatever, but there are certain Republicans that are those kind of like, stiff,
Pause.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? Rick Santorum. Like they're not Santorum types in Michigan.
He actually was very honest today, believe it or not. I mean, I was shocked by him today.
Oh, Rick Santorum made a statement today
on CNN. Well, he's
on
CNN anchor.
Oh, okay.
He's he's their token Republican. But anyway, so there is it's weird because the Republicans will go super right here.
Yeah.
Or they'll be the kind of person that says, well, if I didn't vote for Trump, I'd vote for Bernie. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it's because they don't like establishment stuff. They don't like anything that seems like it's part of
they like
any kind of exactly. And this I've always said this state is half half Democrat, half like diverse. I live very close to the largest Muslim population outside of the Middle East. In Dearborn.
And you're still a lot. You haven't been blown up yet.
Dearborn, Michigan.
No, and subjected to Sharia law.
Well, here's the reason: there is no Sharia law. That does happen sometimes in places like the United Kingdom or France. Sometimes they run into that stuff. But this country does something that no other country can do, and I have no idea why. I've never been able to explain it. But this country takes in immigrants and turns them into Americans. And all the Muslims that live, in Dearborn. They practice their faith freely and everything. There's Arabic, signs and stuff like that in a lot of places in Dearborn. But I know many of them. I talk to them. They're Americans. They eat McDonald's. They watch The Bachelorette or whatever it is about our pop culture.
Two reasons to get rid of them right now. McDonald's is trash. Bachelorette is trash-er.
But that's America, and they buy in to America. This country does that better than any other country. I don't know why, but half of Michigan is like that. Is diverse. Is a bunch of like-minded people to myself, and then half of it is a southern state, and that's just all there is.
Man, like the Upper Peninsula, dude.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. My wife, we have a cottage up there, and we went up there this year, and my wife goes into the equivalent of the dollar store there.
Sure.
And
it's called the nickel. It's called the nickel store.
She's in there, right? And the guy's like, "You got exact change, ma'am?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm probably gonna use my credit card." Why? He's like, "Well, the Dems are stealing all our coins."
That's right. Yep.
She comes back out to the car. She's like, "This dude said the Democrats are stealing all the coins." I'm like, "Yep." Mm-hmm.
Yep. They love their snow machines. They love their scratch off lottery tickets.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what it is. It's like I said, it's a schizophrenic state. There are a lot of people here that are, that praise the diversity that we have here that they're Democrats or Democrat leaning or very progressive. And then there's a lot of people here that, like I said, it looks like a cold Georgia in some places around Michigan. That's just how the state is. It's a weird state to live in. But
Illinois is very similar.
Yeah,
because once you get about 50 miles outside the city, it's missing tooth brother cousin time.
Mm-hmm.
Right, quickly.
Oh
yeah, it's getting a little bit less like that because DeKalb is actually getting very diverse, and but like when I was a kid, and Haas knows when we were kids, DeKalb was like the boonies.
Yeah,
and now it's not.
Shit, when I was little, Romeoville was the boonies.
Yeah, Romeoville, and even like right out, even the far side of Elgin was, just super rural, and anything past Orchard Road. Obviously, this for if you're not from Illinois, you don't know what I'm talking about. But this is like, what's Orchard Road? Maybe 55 miles straight west of the city,
Chicago. Yeah,
and it's and it goes straight north and south, up down past. Once you're past, it runs from north to south. So I think it turns into the road that goes into Madison. It turns into, what is it, the 43 or something like that?
Well,
or the 47.
47. Yeah.
What goes through Madison, Mark?
Madison,
43
Wisconsin.
43 goes through Madison.
Oh no, you're in
You're in
Michigan. Never mind. Yeah, I'm thinking, Wisconsin, Michigan, same shit.
Yeah.
By the way, the Packers are playing right now. And last I checked, they were smoking.
Oh yeah, I didn't even watch
San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco is just falling apart.
Yeah.
Well, San Francisco has a lot of people out. They got a lot of people out.
Their top two receivers went out with COVID, Debo and
the other guy.
Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk. Yeah.
Yeah, who was actually doing very well.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a soon to be stud for 100% for sure. But it's funny, we've all forgotten about the fucking NFL game tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's a shit game anyway. It is,
It shouldn't be though. The Green Bay versus the 49ers? That should be like,
it's a shit game because football and COVID. You know what I mean? Because Garoppolo's done.
He's on your fantasy team. Sorry.
And guess what? He might be done with the 49ers. He might not be back there.
He's been atrocious.
Yeah.
I think the highway you guys are talking about.
He's banging too many porn stars. That's what it is.
He is very handsome.
Yes. I think you guys were talking about 14.
Probably, yeah. That sounds right.
14 goes through Madison.
There was a 4 in it.
Crack-a-lackin'.
So
47 goes north, but maybe that's where they converge somewhere because 47 disappeared, and then it was all I was seeing was 14. So maybe that one.
So, Mikey, what's been going on? First of all, the bin has been busting balls. Thanks to Shartan and Wayne, they've had me on. I've had a few conversations. Wayne called me. Your co-host called me the other day and just was like, "So what's happening out there? I need an update." And I'm like, "I didn't even know you knew." Well, he called me on Facebook, and I'm like, "Hey, cool. I'm glad someone just called me." I'm like, "Nothing." Actually, before you talk about that, I want to ask one quick question. I understand that Pennsylvania is taking a while to vote or to count the vote. I get it. There's 6 million votes, 7 million votes. I get it that this is happening to a degree in North Carolina. I understand what's going on, that it's possibly happening in Arizona. I get that's what's going on in Georgia. Georgia has almost as many votes as, and actually North Carolina has a ton of votes too. North Carolina has almost as many votes as, actually, let me pull up my spreadsheet here. And I'm going to show you guys this because I want
sheets.
Well, I projected the election earlier. I don't know if you guys saw the show that I did.
Yeah, we thought that
in Excel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to share my my screen again here and share the but I will ask Mikey a question here in a segundo. However, before I do that,
wrong window.
You can see this here. So this is what I called earlier. So what I did, I have this all on video. I won't spend a ton of time on this. This was the numbers as of about 11 a.m. this morning, 12 California time. So you had Biden, Trump, etc. What they had, the total votes in, the percentage in. What is your fucking excuse, Nevada? I mean,
I was just watching TikTok with my wife, and it said, "It's not Nevada, it's Nevada." And somebody said, "You better be Nevadaing up them ballots."
What?
Some of the memes about Nevada is being so slow or just high fucking hilarious.
You have one. You're gonna have, when it's all said and done. Again, they're assuming 89% in. I can talk about what I have up here if you want to. That means that there's about 150,000 more to go. So they're only, since yesterday, they're only counting 150,000 votes. They haven't put out shit. What are you doing there? Is it a part? Is Floyd having a party? Floyd Mayweather? I don't get it. What's happening?
Crazy.
He's making it rain with ballots.
It's crazy.
That's what they've been up to with the fuzzy boot girls.
Apparently so. I mean,
They
were the
Wow.
control group. Gerald, what is going on? We have to get Gerald. Gerald, what the fuck is happening in Nevada? Why? In fact, I'm going to post that on the page here. I'm going to see if I can get Gerald to answer that question.
Yeah, Gerald.
So it is funny. By the way, I did a projection for those of you that didn't see, like Haas, who never watches his own show.
I don't like how I sound. I sound weird.
You weren't on it. I was on it by myself. I did call everything.
You either. I don't. You sound weird.
So I used the averages that were coming over the last 24 hours, and I scaled them back a little bit to favor Trump, because I want to be conservative. So I gave Trump 55% of the incoming ballots in Arizona. I gave Biden 60% of the remaining 45,000 in Georgia. I gave Trump 52% of the remaining 150,000 ballots in what would that be, North Carolina. In Nevada. I gave Biden 60% of what remains in North Carolina, and I gave Biden 62% of what remained, the 500,000 that remained in Pennsylvania. And this one, by the way, is very conservative because he was getting like 77% at one point in time. So if all of that holds true, and again, these numbers may have changed in the last 2 hours. I've been taking a break. Biden would win all except for North Carolina if those numbers hold true. But check out this one.
That's Georgia?
No, that's Nevada.
Oh, yeah.
The one where they're having Nevada, 6,000 votes. You think that's close? Look at what this would do in Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's got. Yeah.
What is read? Can you read this, Big House?
Yeah, I see it. It's about it's a little over 1,000 votes.
Yeah.
1,460 votes.
Yeah, if it comes to that, and then 6,000 votes out of in Pennsylvania as well. Arizona probably can be called, like we said, Alaska can be called. I think Nevada probably can be called right now. The other two, obviously, these two can't. North Carolina could probably be called for Trump. Georgia and Pittsburgh, but even if Trump got both of those, Georgia and Pennsylvania, Biden still has 270. So anyway, so I just want to share that with you guys right quick. So I'll stop sharing my screen here. Any thoughts you have on that, Mikey? But also, like, what's been the mood there? What have you guys discovered that we may not know about, that you guys have uncovered on the bin besides conspiracies?
You're muted.
Yeah, there we go. We took a break today. So we had a very interesting person on who has been to every country on Earth.
Wow.
Without flying.
Antarctica too?
Not a country, just a continent. There's no actual
sorry.
stuff. That was my first question.
So
that was my first question.
I would have asked him how many countries are in the world, because that's a disputed figure.
Yeah, he had to go back and go get one because one became a country. South Sudan became a country while he was in like Papua New Guinea or something like that.
How long did it take?
Papua New Guinea.
4 years.
So did you ask him, does he consider Taiwan to be a country?
That one didn't count. Guinness didn't count that one.
Right, because I think the Vatican counts. If you go by the NATO, it is the Vatican is an observer state, and what's the other one?
He didn't have to go to Greenland either because it's technically just more Denmark.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's a territory. We should buy it though.
What are you thinking of? Are you thinking of San Marino, or what are you thinking of?
There's two observer states in NATO. Mikey will I'm sure be on it. One of them is not Palestine, which it should be. And I think it might be Taiwan, because Taiwan, which technically goes by the People's Republic of China. I think it's a slightly different or Chinese Taipei is what they call it for in the Olympics.
Mhm.
PRC. There's the PRC and I can't remember the other one.
Yeah, the main continent has a longer name. But then the other observer state might be Chinese Taipei, which is Taiwan. But so like we refer to Taiwan as Taiwan, they refer to it as Taiwan, but for international purposes, you have to call it Chinese Taipei to make China happy. But again, shouldn't we buy Greenland? I mean, you guys just glossed over my offer there. That's a genius idea.
You ever seen pictures of Greenland? You go first. I'm right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys don't remember when Trump?
Yeah, they're not selling it.
Brought that up, and he was like, "I want to. Maybe we should buy Greenland. There might be votes there for me."
We'll do that right after we rake the forest.
Right.
I was out there raking the Northern California forest earlier.
Yeah,
I'm all for us buying Greenland as soon as I can see that tax return.
Yeah.
Well, and also I'm all for, he said there's so much leaves and dirt on the ground. You must rake it.
Gotta find
there you have twigs. You have twigs everywhere.
Dyson out there and vacuum that shit up or something.
Right. See, you would think. See, he's not into technology, so a smart person would vacuum the forest.
Yeah, he'd vacuum it.
But he wants to rake it because raking was when America was great. We used to rake everything.
We could use helicopters and steel tines and rake the forest.
A big ass rake helicopter going across. It's like, we have this thing called a leaf blower, right? It's like
fucking dumbass.
It'd be the two.
I hear Ego makes a great leaf blower. It's electric. It's battery powered. We could get
here's the here. Let me share my screen.
Why don't we get the landscapers, the illegal landscapers
I love this one.
They can earn asylum.
There you go. Yep.
That's funny.
And then the two black guys, we ain't found shit.
Right. Well, they got the F. Yeah.
Here, actually, I could probably play it. Here we go.
Oh.
You didn't shut down.
They got the big ace comb, the unbreakable joint. Is that the unbreakable? Remember those combs?
Oh, yeah.
Mikey that said unbreakable on them?
Man, I snapped about 30 of them.
I got that Amistad grade of hair when I had hair. And
there's Mikey and Haas.
Yeah, that's us. We ain't found shit. Since Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so they're out there raking California right now. They're combing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but over at the bin side of the world, we're all exhausted. We've been doing so much coverage, and then I jokingly said on Monday, because they were talking about what they wanted to do for the show on Monday. Well, we can do the election stuff. I mean, it'll already be over by then. I was like, there's a lot of mail-in ballots. I doubt we'll even have something for the show on Thursday. Ha ha ha! Everyone LOL'd me to pieces. So there's my election prediction that came.
I thought for sure we were going to
have it by the show.
I thought for sure we were going to have something to say today because especially in Arizona pretty much promised they'd have it done by today.
But this
like my man said on MSNBC, he said if they say that they're going to release some stuff in an hour, he said triple it. He said triple it.
You're dealing with Arizona.
Yeah,
and
it's so hot there.
The same thing.
Well, they got to get it past the armed Proud Boys.
Right.
Yeah, you've got Antifa on one side, the Proud Boys on the other. There's civil war, and everyone's dying, and
this is the kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Yes. So, Mikey, what's your thoughts? Where are you at? When is this going to get called?
Friday.
Hopefully Monday.
Sorry.
Hopefully Monday.
They're going to take the weekend off.
Oh yes. But here's how crazy our system is right now. So not only did these election committees have 4 fucking years to get this shit together, but they knew exactly what day the election was going to be on. And even with the pandemic, they've had 8 months to prepare for extra people to count those back. You know what I mean? Like
here's the thing: is that the rules that they had about how to handle the mail-in and absentee voting, that's what fucked Pennsylvania over because they couldn't even touch the damn ballots until election day.
Yep. Same thing.
Yeah, well, then they didn't touch them until the day after.
But that's the thing, though. You can still have an entire warehouse full of people with boxes of ballots with their own machines and get ready to go. You can prep for these things. You don't have to wait until the day of and be like, what are we going to do? This is a whole bunch of ballots. Because if you prepare for events, you can make them go smoothly. But it is obvious that some states prepared and some states did not.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's weird that the East Coast people are taking way longer than California, which has way more people. But for some reason, they had the proper infrastructure in place to take care of all of these things.
Because we're socialist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just grabbed the illegals out of the field and said, "You do this work."
Well, that's why it's important to invest in the infrastructure. Socialism. It's important to take care of these things with taxpayer dollars, as opposed to, well, we'll just use the same old rickety 1945 beat up pickup truck we've always used to bring in 10 times more product from your farm than you normally do. You're not going to be able to do it.
No, and you know what else? Nevada and Pennsylvania both have Republican legislatures.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Georgia, I don't know what they. You guys do too.
Yeah.
Okay, but
you know what's interesting too is that the right is talking about this voter fraud and stuff, especially like in Georgia, but Georgia's totally run by Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, is there a
legislature? Do you know if their state government is mostly Republican?
I believe
the governor is Republican.
Yeah, the governor is Kemp.
And
Sean Kemp is the governor. No.
Yeah, he did a windmill jam.
Right. The legislature is made up of all his kids.
Over Stacey Abrams.
Right,
So he played Stacey Abrams in one-on-one basketball.
And then he did one of those. And then he did one of those.
He did a tomahawk dunk, knocked her ass down, and gave her the That was one of the greatest dunks in history.
After the show is over, we're going to have to sit back and then just watch the top 100 most disrespectful NBA plays. It is the best. It has really lifted my spirits.
Scottie Pippen put his balls.
Are we not allowed to do that? We can't do that now. We can't just show that video and review it.
Oh man! And you gotta have the greatest dunk of all time. Vince Carter jumping over that French dude
at the Olympics.
In the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was 7'2", and Vince Carter went all the way over his head.
And if you notice in the celebration after he did that dunk, he almost knocked Kevin Garnett out. He almost knocked him out.
Yeah.
Because he swung his arm so hard, I was like, "Oh, he almost knocked Kevin Garnett out."
He ain't nothing but no dark skinned beanpole. He almost took him clean out.
It was so nasty.
We're gonna have to watch that.
Oh, and Sean Kemp's in-game dunks are fucking things of beauty.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Jartan.
Yeah.
Hi,
Tarzan.
Just so you know, Dutch, and everyone else, Georgia General Assembly Senate's majority Republican, House of Representatives majority Republican.
So it is making their ass itch to count up all these Democratic mail-in votes.
I'm sure, yeah.
Good job, Killer Mike. Good job.
That's the thing, and part of the reason
Stacey Abrams did a great job too, getting people registered to vote.
Part of the reason that it's so that it can be so difficult is there's a couple things. There are different rules with every state, which has its advantages and its disadvantages. A federal system would have advantages of being, possibly more smooth and everything, but also could possibly be gamed more easily, I suppose.
Right.
But they all have their different they all have their different rules, especially when it's close like this. They all have to go through a Republican, a Democrat, whoever's actually counting the vote. Like 5 people see each of these votes before they put it in the machine. And then the other thing is that these are not these are basically volunteer jobs.
Right.
I think they get $50 a day or something like that. They're not making a lot of money. It's hard to get people to do this. Especially during this, a pandemic like this, it's hard. Hey, come and sit in a crowded thing in Philadelphia with people shouting for your head outside, surrounded by 30,000 other people doing this job. with COVID, like spreading all over the place. It's not an easy thing to get people to do. So, it's frustrating. But I
Shouts
understand
out to my
it in
wife
some
for doing
ways.
it. My wife was a poll worker on election day.
Pause.
Is that POLL or POLE? Because Trump might have some problems.
She's a POLE worker here at the house.
Stop
When,
it.
when Trump said that,
Yeah.
about the
all
polls,
the Polish Jews.
I said is maybe the polls is a strip club that wouldn't accept his coupon.
Right.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that the Republicans rip on Biden's gaffes, and he has lots of gaffes.
Yeah.
Right.
Trump is like he's like the vice president of gaffes. I mean,
Yeah.
Real quick, let me just say two quick things. Number one, if this election ends at 270, which is possible for Biden, right? It's possible. I kind of hope it does in one so two things could be true. Number one, if that happens, Kara Eastman is the shit. Kara Eastman, who my buddy, I've interviewed her. She's been on this podcast before.
Yeah.
And she's awesome. Though she's not quite, I wouldn't characterize her as quite as progressive as the left-wing media does. She has some moderate leanings that we talked about. But Kara Eastman, let me tell you, my friend, you lost your election, but you might have won Biden's presidency, because that one vote that you almost single-handedly went out there and got in Nebraska 4 was astonishing work, and you should be recognized huge time. I mean, if you're not speaking at the next Democratic National Convention, fuck the Democratic National Convention. Kara Eastman, this is to you. Also, if it ends up at 270, which would be Arizona, we would owe someone else. And I will, and it will be the second coming of something that we have right here. Remember this, guys?
Yep.
What's he doing? Here's John McCain right here. His ghost walks in. Oh, sorry, you lose, Trump.
Fucker.
Yeah, so it's so John McCain comes in and he says to Donald Trump, no. So he voted down Obamacare with that move right there. That's where he walked in.
The Obamacare repeal.
Yeah, he saved Obamacare with that. And say what you want about Obamacare, and I don't think any of us here think Obamacare is the greatest medical program in the world. But obviously, John McCain made his presence felt right there, and he's making it felt again, in spirit, because this is like he's getting the last laugh on Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Just your quick thoughts on that, Haas.
I love it. I love the fact that it could be Arizona, McCain, or I forget the name of the county, but John Lewis's county in Georgia that are the deciding factors.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
in this election as far as electoral votes is concerned. And I'm not even going to get into the whole travesty of the Electoral College, but it would be great. It would be great if fuck Pennsylvania, it's Arizona and Georgia, and Arizona, McCain country, and Georgia, and the votes because these votes from I think it's Clark County.
Is it Clark or Allegheny?
It's Clark County in Georgia. That was John Lewis's district county. So it would be great because their votes aren't in yet. All of their absentee and mail-in votes aren't in yet. So it would be great if those are the votes that push him over the top in Georgia, and Arizona reports before Pennsylvania and pushes him over the top in electoral votes. It would be great.
That would be great also, but I didn't think about that. So good call there, because John Lewis is so frequently not talked about as a civil rights hero. and he
almost died.
He's every bit as much of a
Several
hero as Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X is.
Yeah.
And as overlooked almost as Fred Hampton, who I think is probably.
I can't wait to see this movie about him.
They're making a movie about him?
They're making a movie about the guy that the FBI recruited to infiltrate during the COINTELPRO program against the Black Panthers. But
I thought they already made that.
They made it. It's coming out.
No,
And,
I mean like
is it out already?
I mean, a few years ago they had a movie about that.
No. It's a new one
Oh,
with
it's a new one? Okay.
with Daniel Kaluuya is playing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
playing
my boy.
Fred Hampton, and I forget the guy's name who is playing the
Where should I know him from? What is he? Who's he playing?
Get Out.
Get Out.
Oh, that's the Get Out kid. Okay,
and,
he was in Black Mirror.
Yeah,
he was
and
in Black Mirror also riding the.
He was in
Black.
He was in. Oh, was he?
Rhino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was okay. The boyfriend.
He was.
Of,
I hate Andy
Michonne.
Serkis. Andy Serkis killed my family or whatever guy.
Right. Oh, that's I didn't even recognize him.
He's awesome. I love him.
Okay. I now that you mention it, he's got the big eyes. So I totally didn't recognize him. What do you have, a beard or something?
Yes.
And he looks so much older though than he didn't Get Out. And in Black Mirror.
Well, he was he was all clean shaven and stuff. And,
yeah, we clean up. We clean up. When we clean up, we look real young.
It's right, we get, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Little clean face, actually,
I'm not part of that club no more.
It's the shea butter.
They ain't ready for that.
You want to
giving them jewels. You're giving them jewels. Hold on.
Right. Drink a lot of water too.
You want
to stay the fuck out the sun, trying to get dark like us.
Looking like raisins. Looking like raisins.
Nah, Karen. You can keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, did you guys see? I don't know if we talked about this on the show. Did you guys see that they had at the Republican National Convention that they had the people from St. Louis, the Ken and Karen, the one who came out with the guns.
Yeah.
And they were speaking at the National Convention over Candace Owens.
For what reason, I have no clue.
Well, I thought they were Democrats. They had talked about how they were Democrats.
No,
them motherfuckers.
There are very few white Democrats in St. Louis, especially in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have such a fancy gate.
And that's the thing. It's a gated community, and they're like, "Oh, the protesters went onto their property after they broke their gate." No, it's the gate for
the gate, and the gate wasn't broken either. They showed a video where the gate was not broken.
The gate was not broken. That was completely. They opened it. I think, and it looked like if you looked at the video and you zoomed in on the key, it looked like there was a key in the keyhole.
Yeah, somebody said, "Come on in, gentlemen."
Yeah, so like they opened it and unlocked the door and walked in, and then but you broke they might have gotten broken at some point, but the protesters did not break in the gate.
Well,
I'm having
the narrative, so we're gonna say they broke it, and
yes, because everybody knows that those people break things.
What's that called? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say the most amazing thing to me is that they didn't shoot anybody. Because look at it.
They had their fingers on the trigger.
Look at it from their point of view. As two white people that have probably never seen anything that dark in their life. They had to think it was end of days, right?
That many of them.
Yeah,
it wasn't even dark.
It
wasn't even dark. The people that walked in were at least half, if not more than half, were white.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
what's the call when you got your finger like wrapped around the trigger?
You see one black person,
your finger on the button hook. They call it
button hook. That's what she had. Her finger all the way around that trigger.
Oh
yeah.
She just sneezed in that shit.
She was fucking somebody up. Hey, and guess what? This is
mandatory gun training.
You know that one black person equals 10 in scared white people counts.
That's correct. Yes.
But if you just shine a bright light at them, though, they look so much nicer.
Yeah, like look, see.
Don't you be
I look nice? Let me get a Busta Rhymes.
It makes your nose look more slim. That was actually the nose thing, though. By the way, my favorite line in Borat 2, if you guys saw it, was where he walks into the synagogue and he says to the one lady, he's like, because he has the big, huge nose on, and the lady goes, "Does my nose look big?" And he goes, "No." And he looks over at the other lady. He goes, and she clearly has a bigger schnoz, and he goes,
Right.
but hers is very big. Like so. All right. So speaking of big things, hope you're ready, you fucking fuckbag, Big Hussein.
What's up? What's up? What's
Whoa,
up?
whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on.
Welcome to the humidor with Big
Turn it
Hot.
off.
What?
Turn it off.
Wait, what are we interrupting the show?
Welcome to the humidor with Big Haas. Find out what Haas is puffin' and drinking today. If you try his suggestion and you die, that is natural selection, and the VFU podcast is not responsible for you being weak effing sauce. Now, the one, the only, Big Haas.
Looks so light-skinned it.
I'm not on drugs.
Like Fife Dog. I like them black, yellow, Puerto Rican, the Asian.
Haitian.
See,
Is it Haitian or Asian?
Haitian.
Haitian.
Oh, I've always thought it was Asian. Go fuck
Well, that's
yourself. How about
because
that?
you don't know lyrics, dude.
You don't know about them Haitians?
What? So isn't Def Leppard's song "Pour Some Shook Up Roman"
What the?
What?
or that
Somebody- somebody
the
mute
Metallica
his
song
mic.
where that
Somebody mute
Metallica
his
song
shit.
where they're singing about the beer Amstel Light tastes so
Metallica.
right.
Metallica finna fight you, and I ain't gonna
Oh,
stop.
shit. They gonna send you a cease and desist.
Yeah, it worked out great for them in Napster, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Napster was my shit back in the day.
Napster was that thing.
Bear Share.
course.
Bear
Oh, yeah.
Share was my shit.
All right, so
I
we
wasn't
got
getting music from Bear Share.
You
Anyway,
get,
You
mu-
met my fitness
you can
consigliere.
get music, videos, viruses, all at the same
all
spot.
at the same time. The platter, the sampler pack.
The poo-poo platter.
Oh shit. Okay.
Mm. Get it
All right.
together.
So today, I gotta go full disclosure. All right. So today I'm puffing at a disadvantage today.
Mm.
I'm puffing at a disadvantage because I'm feeling a little under the weather, and I've been tested twice for COVID. I'm negative, but I cannot smell anything.
but positive for syphilis.
That's because of Tuskegee experiment. But anyway,
This is your flu
So-
game.
I can't smell anything. My daughter was sick last week and she got tested and she came back negative, but she lost her sense of smell as well. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I am-
COVID-20.
I've gotten sick before, but I haven't lost my sense of smell before. So I was unawares as to how much your taste is connected to your smell.
Yes.
So, because I can't smell anything, I can't really taste as well either. There's certain things I taste more than others, like sweet stuff I could taste fine, but salty stuff and other things I can't really taste. So I'm puffing at a disadvantage right now.
Pause.
Yeah, I was gonna say the salty stuff. Hold on, bro.
Salty
Let me
stuff.
get you-
No,
let me
but you got if you eat your pineapple, you're good. But anyway, I'm puffing on the LeBron championship cigar.
Oh shit.
If you watch some of the celebration, he was puffing a Drew Estate Undercrown Shade, Okay.
Ooh.
which I happened to get in one of my cigar of the month offerings, and it's been sitting in the humidor for a while because I knew because it was a shade cigar that it was more mild. Okay, and that's not really my style.
Right.
But I was like, you know what? I'll smoke this tonight because it doesn't have a whole bunch of flavor and stuff to me anyway. Okay. And, you know, if I was talking to LeBron, I would say, man, you need to smoke the Undercrown Maduro because it's so much more flavorful and not smoke the Shade, which is way more medium. But I'm smoking the Undercrown Shade Grand Toro. It's a 6-inch by
Pause.
52 ring gauge.
Probably pause. Yeah.
The Grand Toro is a Toro Extra, so you know it's a little most of the time, Toros are not as thick as a regular Toro. A regular Toro might be 48 to 50. This is a 52, so it's a little thicker, a little more girth, than a regular Toro. Okay, the wrapper that you see here is an Ecuadorian Connecticut. All right, it's a shade wrapper, and what a shade is that the tobacco leaves are actually grown under a like a crepe paper almost.
I thought you were going
I drink and
I thought you were going to say they just talk shit about the other leaves.
Mm-hmm. You know that Ligero's a bitch.
you know that Ligero got another baby daddy.
Man, another one. They call her double Ligero now, and it's actually Ligero. Purist will kill me for that. But anyway, the binder, which is right up under the wrapper, is a Sumatra, which gives it a little bit of flavor, but not a whole lot. And then the filler is a Dominican Criollo 98, a Nicaraguan Corojo, and Nicaraguan. That's right, Nicaraguan Criollo as well. I need to do more research on the Criollo leaf to give you guys more of the personality of that leaf. So pre-apologies as well for not being as well versed on that leaf. So I would love to give you guys. I might do a bonus content later this week or this weekend and talk to you more about that leaf. But so I smoked the shade once before, like 2 or 3 years ago, because this cigar, the Underground Shade, was originally released in 2015. So I had one about 3 years ago, so about 2017, and it's mild. And I'm going to pretty much give you my experience of it back then, because I can't really give you a really robust description of what I'm experiencing now, because it's not much. But you get some hay, like essence, then right, and you get a little bit of earth, but it's okay. It's an okay cigar. It's an okay cigar, and there's a little bit of there's a little bit of vanilla in it as well, but not a whole lot. So it's an okay cigar to me. But the construction is really good. I kind of cracked it here. That's my fault. I almost dropped it earlier in the podcast, and I grabbed it and I cracked it. You can see right there.
Too strong, man.
So that's my fault. That's not the construction of cigar. That's my fault. I did that. As you can see, the burn is really nice and even for the most part, which speaks to the construction of the cigar and the quality of the leaves that they used. And that's also very interesting, because I do have my little electric fireplace fan going. And usually when there's any type of breeze running through, sometimes you get a little bit more wave to the burn. And I haven't had to relight it, which is a cool thing. Very good looking cigar, kind of veiny, pause. But it's got like this velvety, like when you run your finger along the cigar, it's like a velvety touch to it, and it's real soft.
Oh, I like that. That looks nice.
It's real soft.
Yeah.
It's like a soft kind of feel to it, and that's probably why this cracks so easily, because it is kind of.
I like when the wife does that to my cigar.
It lotions it, right?
Yeah. You got that little cigarillo though, but that's all right.
Wow, the racism here.
That's not racist. That's just genetics, man.
I pull this out. This whole room turned white. You'll look them
tidy whities you wearing.
You'll look even more harmless and docile than you are now.
Yeah, well, you gotta watch out. Them light skinned dudes. If Empire has told you anything, them light skinned dudes can be ruthless.
Yeah, Team Light Skin is out here. They heard everybody.
Terrence Howard will mess you up, man. I had to shoot you, man. But there's a little bit of flake to the ash. If you look closely here, I don't know if you guys can see it.
What do you mean, juicy Smollett?
That's I'm talking about. But if you
No.
look here too, you can see a little bit of flake on the ash there. You know,
You put some cocaine on there?
Cocaine is a hell of a
as you're
drug.
smoking it, as it's ashing, there's like little flakes that sometimes come off. You got to watch out for those, like if you've got dark clothes and stuff on, because it'll get on your clothes and kind of mess them up. But this is a great cigar for people who like mild cigars. If you like mild cigars, this is perfect. For me, I'm a little bit. It's not really for me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I can't rate it as high as other cigars. I tell you when I would smoke this cigar though, I would smoke this cigar after I get a bagger, after I get a cruiser and I'm taking trips and stuff, and because if I lose it, you know, if the wind takes it or something, I'm not gonna be pissed off, but I'm still smoking a high quality cigar. I'm a snob, man. I don't like smoking cheap. I don't like smoking cigars that aren't high quality. And I've smoked some $4 cigars that are great cigars. And there was no way I would smoke them in any chance where I would lose it. But then there's other cigars that are $20 that are just trash to me. So, but I give this like a 3.75, 3.8. Oh, I'm smoking with Corona Premier as well, which I can barely taste as well. So, you know, I'm sorry that I can't give you a current review. Like I think last time I smoked it. Oh shit! You know what? I had some. Oh, it's in here. In here is Woodford Reserve whiskey, and that's what I was drinking a few years ago when I smoked this cigar. So it was a little bit more earthy. There was a little bit more spicy too, because of the Woodford. And I'm getting nothing with this Corona Premier now.
Corona Premier is probably not the best thing for pairing with a cigar, but
it depends. It depends. With the more flavorful cigars, Corona Premier, especially with a little lemon or lime juice in it, it will pull out some of the fruit notes that you might miss if you're drinking a harder liquor. Because harder liquor, sometimes you don't get those fruit notes that come out. But something like this with a little bit of lemon or lime juice in it, it'll pull a little bit of those fruity citrus, especially if there's any citrus in the cigar, that citrus will come out. And, you know, so it's all about what you pair it with.
Well, speaking of parrots, that's, by the way, one of your lowest review scores ever. It actually was lower than the Trump 2020 cigar.
The Trump 2020 cigar has more flavor than this cigar. 100%. 100%. And guess what? I'm going to set that bitch on fire live once they call it for Biden.
That's the perfect thing to do. How did those other Ted cigars come out? Did you try those?
I did. They were good.
They were better than their Trump one?
Yeah.
So he put like, you know, back at the bar when I was in college, we had a bar that would have like for $0.25 you could order the beer that runs off into the tray.
That's nasty ass.
Like it'd be a mix. Well, it's actually relatively clean, but because they have pretty high sanitation levels, but it would be like, you know, a mix of Molson Ice with Budweiser with IPA with, you know, with natural it was
natural light.
Disgusting. Yeah. So, exactly. And that's probably what he did with his Trump 2020 cigar. He was just like, well, let's take a little bit of this.
I'm sure it was a blend that
I'll wrap it with an old t-shirt.
Yeah, it was a blend that they thought would move, but it didn't. And they said, you know what, we could throw a Trump band on this,
but it probably fucking worked. You're probably exactly 100%. Right. They took. I would almost guarantee, now that I think about it, because when you said it was so not really a bad cigar, or not really a good cigar at all, I was like, well, it's probably your bias as part of it. And I'm sure maybe if it was an Obama cigar.
No. I would have been honest. If it was
higher.
A good cigar, I would have been it's a good cigar.
It's okay to have some slight bias, but
I know it's okay.
But you're probably exactly right. He probably had some shit that wasn't very good.
Yep.
and said, you know what, how I can sell this shit? Change the band and write Trump's name on it, and it'll sell like crazy.
It'll sell. You know.
Speaking of things selling like crazy, I am going to. So Jartan just sent this to us. I had no idea this was going on. Since that's your boy, Mikey, you're up. Read this out, and if you'd like, and
I have my own article. I didn't know you were doing one too.
Yeah, I figured I'd be productive.
Well, then you read it because I can't read it. It's small on my screen.
Oh, okay.
Yours is too small, dude. You read it.
Yeah, thank you. You put their heads on pikes. Steve Bannon calls for beheading of Fauci and FBI director if Trump wins. Mm-hmm. The podcast's Twitter account at War Room Pandemic was suspended after the statements went live. This is being reported on multiple outlets right now. Steve Bannon said a second term for Donald Trump should start by displaying the severed heads of Anthony Fauci and FBI Director Christopher Wray on the White House as a warning. All right.
There you go.
Hello, fascism.
And this will be, I'm going to pull this. I'm going to close this screen out. And while you guys are talking about this, I'm going to go to Twitter and I'm going to see if I can find any defenses of this.
Well, I mean, they're totally mask off, right? Like they've been mask off for a while.
Yeah.
At this point, every argument I get into with the conservatives is like some moron on Facebook who I don't even know said the other day, "Oh, if Trump was fascist, then you wouldn't be able to vote in this election." And my only response is, you don't know what fascism is, what the stages of it are, how it takes root, and how it grows. That's ignorance. To say that we're not in last stage fascism means there is no fascism is ridiculous. And these people are, like I said, they've been masked off for a long time now.
Yeah. That's just like people that, unless you're screaming the N-word and wearing a damn KKK uniform,
it's not racist.
It's not racist.
Right.
Not racist.
How could you say it's racist? He didn't even say the N-word.
He said thugs.
Yeah. My example was like if you have diabetes, right? Well, you're not on dialysis, right? So obviously you don't have diabetes.
Right. You don't have it.
Fauci. And that
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So here, hold on. So I just found. Sorry if that played for half a second there. Let's see if you guys can hear this.
It's a second term. Second term kicks off with
this is Steve Bannon
firing Fauci. Now, I actually want to go a step farther, but I realize the president is a kind-hearted man and a good man. I'd actually like to go back to the old times of Tudor England. I'd put the heads on pikes, right? I'd put them at the two corners of the White House as a warning to federal bureaucrats. You either get with the program or you're gone. Time to stop playing games. Blow it all out. Put Rick Grinnell today as the interim head of the FBI. That'll light him up, right?
You know what, Steve? Just yesterday there was the
look at this guy. I mean, he.
Oh Lord,
Philadelphia. These
what a sexy man!
Men who had cohabitated, if you will, with the British while they were occupying.
Okay, so
I think that's enough.
Obviously,
Philadelphia.
Look at the hat behind him.
Yeah.
What's up?
Where's Hunter?
We should just leave this up as we talk the rest of the show. I mean, I paused it at the perfect time.
Don't nobody want to see his nasty, racist, hateful self?
But seriously, what's with the mullet, Mark?
Yes.
What's with the mullet?
All these guys, all these conservatives, like Rush Limbaugh. You look at, Ben Shapiro looks like a ventriloquist dummy that came to life in a Twilight Zone skit.
Oh, shit.
They all are. There's some mental disease, I think, with people like Bannon that obviously affects how they think and how they express themselves, but also whatever part of your brain makes you a fascist shuts you off to fashion too, I guess. I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, that's a great point.
mullet is. I think the mullet is the
line stepper.
All
the
these
mullet is a representation of the Confederate flag. I think.
Is it? Is that what it
That's
is?
like we can't wear Confederate flags. So we got to grow this mullet.
The best
So everybody knows.
The best mullet ever is Sean William Scott? Is that his name from when he's playing the in Office? Old School. Yeah, when he's playing the guy who's like the zookeeper of the.
Will Ferrell gets shot with the yeah.
My man from Eastbound and Down had the best.
You're
mullet.
crazy.
Oh, him too. Yeah.
Yep.
His mullet was off the hook. The curly mullet. Can't go wrong with the curly mullet, dude.
But see, Bannon here, he's just trying to look like he's so casual, he's so relaxed, he's so cool, and like,
but that jacket's like $800.
He's trying to be Ted Nugent.
Oh, yeah. Ted Nugent has truly lost his fucking mind.
Also from Michigan.
You know,
I have to claim that.
He was on Sean Hannity, and like so my car radio is always set to 1560 or whatever it is, AM, which is KNZR. It's the station that I listen to all the time. It's conservative talk radio, and I listen to it all day long when I'm in the car. And
bad for your health.
It's bad for my health possibly, but it's really good for me to, I think, hear the idiocy that this party, because it helps to reinforce the fact that I know I'm right for leaving that camp. It's sad too, because I truly believe it's not representative of everyone, but that's not the point. The point is that, like, Wayne called me, like, from the Bin podcast, and while he was he was like, so what are the conservatives saying? Something like that. I said, I don't know. Let's turn the volume on the radio. Right. I turned the volume on the radio. Hannity happened to be on. We listened so he could hear it over my car speakers, because I was talking to him on speakerphone. We listened to about 30 seconds of Sean Hannity, and he must have mentioned the deep state and voter fraud twice. I mean, it's just, I don't understand what these guys look when Biden was behind 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I think all of us were talking on the podcast that night, and all of us were really bummed out, and all of us were very, sort of having a rough evening. But I don't remember anybody saying that we thought it was fake.
Right.
Now we will bring up stuff like voter suppression, gerrymandering, things like that are real, that do affect voting, that are there, and they're
real life
technically legal, right?
Right.
So, but we don't start talking about how it's like, because they didn't have a problem with the voting, the ballots when Trump was ahead.
Oh no.
But once they go behind, oh my God, must be cheating, because I can't fathom how we could lose. And then they say, we should stop the people banging on the doors of the voter counting place in, I think it was Georgia and North Pennsylvania. Just tons of white people smashing on the doors. Stop the count. Stop the count. And they're banging on the doors. These are snowflakes, right? But you ask them, they say, so we need to stop counting in Michigan, stop counting in Wisconsin, stop counting in Pennsylvania, stop counting in all of these in Georgia. Let's stop the count, stop the count, stop the count. What do you want to do in Nevada and Arizona? Keep counting there. Keep counting and keep counting, because we're narrowing the gap. Fucking hypocrites.
Well, here's the thing. Like, on election night, why we should have stopped counting at like 10 p.m. or so, because Biden had Florida, Ohio, and Texas at that point. So just stop counting that.
We had at one point he had actually Arkansas and
and South Carolina.
Yeah,
because what those states, it's the inverse. Those states counted their mail-in ballots first, and for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, Biden was up like 60 to 30 in Arkansas for a minute.
Yeah. For weeks and weeks, Biden and his campaign and all the people, associated with his campaign were saying, mail in your ballots. Stay safe. This disease is real. Mail in your ballots. So overwhelmingly, they mailed in their ballots. Democrats in most of these states. In Arizona, it's been a little different, but in most of these states, Democrats overwhelmingly mailed in their ballots. And those states counted them first. Other states like Pennsylvania, like Georgia, that is going on now, counted them last. And it's just the inverse of what happened. It's not like Trump came on, and I hate that CNN even aired this, but Trump comes out and just, it's like a guy throwing everything he can at a wall. It's fake. 3:00 in the morning, they find all these votes in Michigan. Well, they didn't find them. They were in the box. They were postmarked. They didn't appear magically out of nowhere. They were votes that came in that most of them voted for Biden. That's what an election is. Like when we, like to your point, Dutch, when I was watching, I didn't say, oh, well, he's won Texas. Oh no, here he comes storming back. Well, it must be some sort of fraud. No,
we were disappointed in America.
Yeah, it's just them counting the votes. I was hoping, like a lot of us were, I'm sure, for a complete repudiation of the ugliness and the fascism that has permeated for the last 4 years. We didn't get that. That sucks. That's why stuff like Arizona, if he wins Arizona, and it's like revenge for John McCain, and Georgia, the same thing. That's why those are good silver linings. Because that's what we have to look. Hopefully Biden wins. Obviously, I think he will. But those are the silver linings we have to live for, because we didn't get the big victory that we wanted. The Democrats,
I think they've
lost
abducted
in the House,
Big House though.
And
we lost the Senate. That's a few seats in the House. The House will still be.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing about the Senate. This is interesting to me. Real quick, I don't know if you want to do a whole big.
No, sure. Let's talk about Senate
or not. But so it looks like Tillis is going to win in North Carolina. It's close. They haven't called it yet.
Is it who's it, Cunningham?
Yeah.
Going against? Yeah.
But now, and we might have a shot here. Democrats might have a shot, and if they do, they might have. Because David Perdue, is ahead of John Ossoff in Georgia. In the one race is going to a runoff for sure, because they had like 16 people in that race or whatever.
Right. Is the other one under 50% yet?
He just dipped below like 49.9. And Shane Hazel, the Libertarian candidate, I think took, he got like 2.3% of the vote, just enough, possibly, depending on how they're still counting, but it's like 98% in or something like that. Possibly just enough to get that to a runoff. I wonder what they do then. Do the Democrats pump a bunch of money into those two Georgia races, knowing if they flip both of those, it's 50-50? And then if Biden's president, ties are broken by Harris. Do they say we can't win it? It's like there's not enough votes there, or I think they might take the opportunity.
Let me tell you what they'll do. Let me tell you what they'll do. Let me tell you exactly what they'll do. Whatever doesn't work. Because
that's true.
Yeah, because that's what they always do.
Yeah.
So they pump money into the places where it's useless, and then you have progressive candidates that run, and they give them zero.
Yep.
In multiple occasions, and then they try to run when you have a viable progressive candidate, which is rare. They say, instead of supporting the candidate and trying to polarize that base around them, we're going to run a moderate, not even a moderate, an establishment Democrat against them.
Right. Well, yeah, they don't stay. The problem is Democrats play not to lose. Republicans play to win. Democrats play not to lose,
because they move to the center when they move more and more to the middle.
Yep.
As the Republican Party moves to the right. And I'm not saying that they should move to the left, but stay where you are.
Yeah, well, the thing is, here's the thing. I think progressive candidates win in places where they're allowed to run or where they win primaries because they stand for something, and
They've proven
that's
that they
what
can
people want.
win.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but there was a in a very moderate county in New York, one of the more upstate New York counties. This guy ran on decriminalizing sex work, universal health care. Like he was far left on pretty much every issue. He won his primary by 73%. He won his the general election with 83% of the vote in a moderate county, because when someone comes out there and says, and now Trump's terrible. It should be easy to run against Trump. That's what they all say. But the problem is it's not a super inspiring message to be like, that guy sucks. Let's not have that anymore. Because everyone kind of agree. Well, not everyone, but a good amount of people agree with that. But it's not inspiring. It's inspiring to say, hey, do you know how the last 20 years or so you've been losing more and more money, even though the country has been generating more and more money? Look at this GDP growth and see where it all goes. Doesn't that seem kind of like a theft to you? Don't you think that? And that's the thing. There are black people who struggle in this country. There are white people who struggle in this country. There are gay people who struggle in this country. And the one thing that they don't want us to do, the one thing that the elite, the rich people, the Bezoses of the world, those kind of people, the one thing they don't want us to do is have black people stand up for gay people, have white people stand up for black people, have gay people stand up for black people. They don't want us to rally around the things that we have in common, because then they can't do all this vile shit they want to do. So they divide us.
It was because, and when people do that, just throw something in there.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Hampton, we talked about him before. He did that better than anybody.
Yep.
In the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And they killed him while he was asleep. And by the way, the guy you're talking about is Jamal Bowman.
Oh, yes. the infiltrator guy?
That's right, yeah.
Oh no, the guy that ran.
That's
no,
right,
the progressive in New York is Jamal Bowman.
Yeah.
And that's right. And when people do that, they kill them. When they find, when people get coalition, because that's the thing. I don't think there's any grand conspiracy. I know like Bill Burr and stuff likes to talk about the Bilderbergs and stuff like that. And maybe some of that stuff happens. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But it's a conspiracy of common interests. All these people, they don't need to have secret meetings. They all want the same shit. Right. They want the money. They want the power. They don't give a shit about us. And they all want that. So they all do that stuff that, that makes us divided. And that's what it is. And there aren't enough people out there that speak to one of the things. Okay, I'm going to bring up Sarah Palin again. Sarah Palin is obviously a disaster, right? Because she's an idiot. But Sarah Palin did one thing, and this is one thing that made her popular. She did one thing better than anyone else except for Obama in that election, in the 2008 election. She spoke to people. She talked about her story. She wrapped that around with the American story, and she said, hey, I see you, I am you, and when I get there, I will represent you. Obama was able to do that for his side and a lot of people, and thankfully he did, or else Sarah Palin might have been, one heartbeat away from the presidency. But that's what you need. You need people, and she believes it too. That's the thing. You can't be fake with this stuff. You can't talk about this stuff and just give lip service, because a lot of them try to. She, for all her faults, she really believed that. She said, I have a child with special needs. I want to be an advocate for people who, for women who struggle with taking care of their kids, struggle with kids with special needs. And she honestly believed that. That was part of her heart. That's what good politicians do. And you can't, so many of these establishment Democrats, that's the thing that they do wrong, is they sit there and they say, well, here's what I need to tell you. Here's what, they give lip service to everything. They don't care. That's why people were energized by Bernie Sanders. Now, he didn't get enough of the vote, obviously, but Bernie Sanders cares about getting people health care. He cares about people being covered, and that's what excites people. We need more people like that. Like I said, Obama was able to do it, but when you don't get there are not enough Obamas in the world, so you have to structure the party from the inside out. You have to say, go ahead.
Yeah, go. No, please finish.
I was just going to say, you have to say, this is what we believe. This is what the people need. Now, all you guys go out and tell them that this is what we believe, and we know that this is what they need.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dutch.
Well, sorry. So, but I want to show this because what exactly you just said, and I know Haas and Mikey will agree with this. This is exactly what they do on the other side, and they do it well.
Yep.
And when you have an outlier candidate, and Jabal Bowman, as progressives go, much like Kara Eastman, is not the most progressive of the progressives, right?
True.
Actually, even AOC is not as crazy progressive as some people, and she's very smart, by the way. I don't agree with some of her stuff, but at the same time, 80% of it is fine.
Right.
But even the Democratic Party rips on Jamal Bowen. They rip on Bernie Sanders. They rip, Bernie kind of not a Democrat. So he has some of that is his fault for being an independent. I get that. But outside of that, I personally think that he's doing the right thing because I don't want to be a part of the Democratic establishment either. I refuse to be a part of that party.
Yep, me too.
But I refuse to register as a Democrat because the Democratic establishment is a piece of shit. But the point is what the right wing does, and they do so well. And I admire, frankly. I wish that the other party did it. Is when they have these fringe candidates, they turn them into heroes. Example 1 and 2. Lauren Boebert. So let me show you this young lady. Here we go. So this is Lauren Boebert. Oops, wrong one. So that was RedTube was up. Actually, you know what though?
Pornhub is doing a free week.
I will say.
Oh, word.
I will say though,
that's what I heard.
Lauren Boebert is gorgeous. All right, first of all, but she's a beautiful woman.
Dismissive.
And a woman with the Lara Croft gun holster. Okay, I do find that sexy, but and Haas, you have to agree with me. The gun strap is kind of, you can see what the girl with the gun strap right here.
It doesn't. She's pretty without the gun strap. No,
but I'm saying, I think the gun strap is sexy. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I like when I see a chick in a lifted truck.
So see, but this
get a couple extra points for me. You might be a solid 6, but you're an 8 because of the truck.
I like talking to girls and figuring out what their likes and dislikes are and treating them like humans.
Where's the mute button?
I like my wife, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh my God!
I just like I like
to look at the menu, man. You can look at the menu and order the steak every time.
No, I prefer texting my girl pictures of the cats. That's my favorite thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's funny that there's a progressive commercial right below with Flo. But so this young lady got famous because she motherfucked Beto O'Rourke on YouTube. And because of that, they threw everything behind her. Fox News got behind her. OANN got behind her. Newsmax got behind her. Sean Hannity got behind her. Rush Limbaugh got behind her. They all had her on the show. They all promoted her. And I don't know if she's a bad person or not, but she's obviously far right. And she is, especially with guns, like her thing is 2A. She's a business owner, but she is certainly way further right than the person who she primaried. Now, much like AOC, they rip on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to no end because they say, well, she won in a district that always goes blue, and they're just one extreme, and she doesn't deserve any credit. But yet they call this girl an upset victory hero, underdog. She's so great. Guess what? Guess what her district is? It's super bright red in Colorado. It's never been with a Democrat. She came from the right and upset a moderate. So she did precisely the exact same thing that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did with a moderate establishment Democrat that she upset 2 years ago. But this woman is a hero, and AOC gets no credit.
Of course.
Okay, but this is what they do right. Let's look at another example.
Well, you are
QAnon supporter.
So this is the thing, though. Your first comment about her is the only reason they're throwing money behind her is because she's
probably right.
She's a good product to sell, and if the right wing is mostly chauvinistic men, strap that Laura Croft gun on your side, and we'll put you on the front page of AON, and boom, overnight success.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But you know what the left won't do? They won't find a picture of her like AOC. Like we talked about, what's his face? He has the big eyes. AOC has big eyes too, right? And they love to meme those when they catch her in a National Enquirer cover moment.
Yeah.
You know, where they catch you with your face all weird, and but they love to meme her. The left won't do that to this woman.
That's because they're adults.
Yeah.
But you know what? Fuck that. Michelle Obama was when she said, "When they go low, we go high."
I don't believe in that.
Maybe it's the right thing for her to say, but it's not the right thing to do. Fuck these people.
See, and the thing is like I said before, she has to say that. She has to say it, but
that's not what we got to do. Right.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, and that's why Obama had
this woman that you're looking at right here, this blonde lady, is QAnon. And they love her, and they put everything behind her, and they're championing her right now as in Georgia because she won her seat as QAnon.
But for an allegory for what you're discussing. So if someone is beating their wife, my only way to combat this is to also beat somebody's elf wife, but not as bad, so then they don't look as bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's not right for them to do it. It's also not right for us to do it. So I can't hold the moral high ground while also slinging mud. I don't want to sling mud with nasty people. Like when there's racist people online, I don't typically, or when I get like racist comments and shit, like I don't respond to that. For what? What am I going to do? Argue with a racist? He's racist. So what am I going to do? Try to out-meme the memers?
I get what you're, but you know what? We saw this in The Boys, right? It works. What Stormfront did worked.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that you have to become sexist or misogynist or racist, but if I go ahead and I show you this picture again of old girl here, and I put a meme on this that says like the right wing would because I'm sexy, I'm a good politician or something like that. That would be perfectly accurate. And I'm sure you can come up with, there's people a lot smarter than me that can come up with a lot better stuff than what I just said. But you could come up with a bunch of stuff that, it's all about what perception the people in the middle get. And I'm not saying to like superimpose her over Angelina Jolie in Tomb Raider and then make something sexist out of it. I'm not saying to do that.
That was very specific, Dutch. Very specific.
Well, I'm using the gun holster as.
I'm not saying to give her Angelina Jolie's breasts.
No, but
Salma Hayek's
what I'm
butt,
saying.
And then,
no, you can definitely give anyone. You give everyone Salma Hayek's butt. I'm perfectly fine with that. The world.
I like my fiance's butt.
Yeah, but
it's the best spot.
Jessica Biel as well. Oh
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Never.
I would vote for Jessica Biel for Congress.
What? What'd you say? Did you say you've never seen Jessica Biel?
You trying to get me murked, dude? Shut up. Damn, man. She be watching the show. What you doing?
You can look at the menu.
You can look at the menu. I can get murked on the menu. And you finna put me on the menu.
He's literally living in Get Out right now. So just blink twice if you need help. Well, that was 4 blinks. So I'm message not
double
quite
help. Double help, motherfucker. What the hell? 4 is 2 + 2. Goddamn.
But Mark, how do we? So without being sexist, without being racist, without being overtly offensive and like Steve Bannon asking for people to be killed, because the way that the left acted, you know, when Trump got COVID, I didn't agree with it. Just the same as the right did when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died and they said, fuck that baby killer, you know. But how do you go ahead and do it? I want to know. Haas, Mark, what do you guys think?
The problem is it's hard because misogyny and racism and those kind of negative emotions, they're terse. They're straight to the point. They're easy to make into memes. Yeah. Nuanced intelligence opinions, like, you know, you can make an easy meme about, you know, the Second Amendment like being freedom and everything, right? It's hard to make a meme that says, yes, the Second Amendment's important, we should respect that, but there's also, you know, regulations that might make sense and make people say, you know, it's very hard to make a meme from that position. The right is better at simplifying their points of view because their points of view are simple. It's hard.
Hate them, hate that, hate that.
Exactly. It's hard to sell complex ideas. Some people can do it. Some people have the charisma, you know, to cut through. Exactly. To cut through, you know, not bullshit necessarily, because it's all important, but they have the ability to cut through these complex things and speak right to the person. And that's what you need. I don't necessarily think that the memes are important or running negative campaigns are important or attacking are important. What wins elections is connecting with people. And you do that by speaking to you can speak to their fears. That's what Republicans do a lot of times. You can speak to their hopes. You can speak to their dreams. You know, you can speak to what they want the world to be, what they want their life to be, in simple terms. So I mean, I guess that's the way I would do. If you can make memes that I'm not a meme maker or anything, but if you can make memes that convey those ideas, but the things that the left can do, and they don't usually do, like you said, but every once in a while someone comes along and is able to do it, like in Obama. You know, say what you will about decisions he made as you know, I watched his DNC speech from 2004 the other day, and that shit still gives me chills. The man was like no other that I've seen in my life. As a speaker, as a campaigner, as someone that understood people. And that's, you know, that's what it takes to connect to people. And that needs to be done on a personal level. That needs to be done through speeches, through, you know, rallies and stuff like that, through the kind of stuff that Trump does, but the opposite, with hope, and not like, you know, let's close our eyes and imagine a world where all the darkies are gone. You know, like that's the kind of stuff that Trump, you know, wallows around in. We can be better. You know, like, we can be more moral than that. Obviously, it's not a high bar, but we can also be good at saying, you know, speaking to the things that matter to people. And the stuff that matters to people isn't, you know, what bathroom this person's going to use, or, you know, any of that like wedge bullshit that people put up there. That stuff doesn't matter to people. What matters to people is their family, their lives. You know, Kennedy said one time, you know, we all live on this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all, you know, cherish our children's futures, and we are all mortal. Those are the things that bind us together. Though that's the tent pole that you want to talk to. That's what you build your party around. And I think that's, to me, that's the way to do it. I understand that the meme stuff works, you know, and most changes of it the conversation and
most
stuff.
of it is really bad too. I mean, I mean, you can go to. I mean, I'm not gonna do a close up of this because it's probably gonna be pretty fucked up. But like, if you could even do like this is just a YouTube video about Michelle Obama, right? God. The stunning transformation of Michelle Obama. Let's look at all the topics.
Oh, okay.
Or all the comments. Can you see these? No, I'm not gonna play it. I thought this was going to be how she transformed from a man into a woman. Michelle is really Michael. She's a transgender. If it's revealed she's a man, like every single person every single comment on this video, which is just a video about Michelle Obama.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
But with the advent of social media and its explosion into everybody's day-to-day life, these guys are completely comfortable saying this behind a screen.
Yeah.
They're completely comfortable.
Not just
saying
behind a screen. I called out the. Did you guys ever hear the thing that I called out on the one I called out on the radio? Here, did you guys ever hear that video?
I don't know. No.
All right, hold on. You guys talk for a second. Give me a sec. I'll find it.
Okay. Well, I mean, and that's the thing.
I'm pulling
is
this hateful shit down for a moment. That pisses me off.
Yeah, and that's what the internet does. The internet reveals, and this election did too. Because God, man, I thought
the whole campaign up until the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm. I thought this country was better. I thought I thought the people of this country were better.
And and the thing is, Mark, you thought that, but people like Mikey and I, we knew already.
We knew better.
Yep.
We knew better. We knew already. You know,
and that's like I told you before. Like growing up in the '90s and stuff like that, the early 2000s, I was like, racism's gone. This is great. Like everything's like because obviously I don't see it, right?
Right.
But now that's the internet. The
internet and camera phones.
Yeah, it does good things. It does bad things. Obviously, one of the good things that I think it did is expose all this stuff. So many more people who look like me and who grew up in a suburb like me and didn't know a lot of black people growing up and didn't see the struggle and didn't understand now do. And that's important. It's important for us to know each other's stories because that's the only way you can get understanding.
And that's one thing I tried for all my white allies out there. Salute. I tried to, because after all the George Floyd stuff started going on, and they're like, "Oh, they're gonna get this," and I'm like, "You need to go ahead and call me Jess. Nothing's gonna happen."
Mm-hmm.
No, all this stuff is gonna change now. Didn't you see the video? I'm like, "All right, you think that, but be ready to be disappointed." It's
just like when Trump would say and do stuff, and people be like, "Oh, this is it." No, it's not.
There's no way he's going to get reelected now. I'm like, all right.
And by the way, this sound clip I'm going to play for you, it's post George Floyd. This was during like where everything was going on. This is Bakersfield, KNZR local radio host Terry Maxwell.
Hey, good afternoon. I hope you're having a great day. We're into our second hour here on the Terry Maxwell Show, KNZR. I don't know how to type this, but
this music is going to fuck us.
I watched the Democratic National Convention last night. I went to turn it on, and it's like, it's been a long day. Why would I want to do this? I couldn't do it. And then when I was flipping through some of the channels, and then they had Michelle Obama on, Michael on. Well, she is looking more like a Michael these days, isn't she? I'm telling you. I mean, she's buff. She looks like she's ready to play linebacker.
She said just because I have an Adam's apple doesn't make me any less of a woman.
Did she really
Fuck asses.
That's what I hear.
Huh. Well, then she must be reading the reports too that she's actually named Michael. Because I can't find her any place in the distant past.
That's on Facebook. Somebody called her McGilla Gorilla.
Wow.
No, she does have one person that says, no, I remember Michelle when we were going through grade school together. I think her name is Blasey Ford or something like that.
And then he says that was, after he talks about that was fun. And now this is the whole radio segment is on. I did an analysis of it like 4 months ago. The video is on our page. I sent it to every news outlet. Bakersfield. Guess how many hits I got? One from a black reporter, and that kid got nowhere with the story.
It's the good old boy network.
But there were other people here in Bakersfield who watched it, and they were like, "We've been trying to get this guy off the radio for years." Then a few minutes after he said that, he starts talking about on that same show how ridiculous it is that Democrats call Republicans racists.
Oh, of course it is.
because he doesn't see. I can understand maybe that some people don't see, but that guy not being able to see what his co-host just said and he laughed at 2 minutes before.
Yeah.
And then and this is what I'm saying. So then even if I made it a strident effort to go after that guy in particular, and I made all the noise that I needed to call him out for what he did, I am now the angry black man. And
you're making a big deal out of nothing. Just get over it.
There's nothing to see.
Just
right. So there's no point in me like, so what do? Make fun of him and make fun of his show. So then what happens then? Now I'm the next target. And they're just going to make fun of me without any repudiation. Like there is no way to beat slime throwers in slime throwing. Because I actually care who wins or loses. They just like throwing slime.
But Don Iver did the exact same thing, and he got kicked off the radio. So I don't understand how this is so hard.
And here's the thing is that it is harder for black people to bring up and point out racism among whites than it is. And this is why white allies are so important, because it is easy for white racist, quasi-racist, and racist comfortable people to dismiss the claims that come from within the marginalized communities.
Yep.
You're being hypersensitive. Get over it. Da 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 da. That's not racist. You know, but when people that look like them say it, it's a little bit harder to dismiss, even though that they still try. You know, if you're a white ally and you happen to be female, and this has happened on my social media threads a few times, where the racist person, oh, you must be a mud shark.
You're a coal burner.
Yeah, you must enjoy the soul pole, and that's why you're, you know, doing this or that.
Hey, I like that term. The soul pole is funny. That was your line from.
Oh man, this dude, this guy said
that was the name of an episode.
This guy said that to me, man, and I was like, what? He's like, dude, she wants that soul pole, dude. But it was funny. It was funny.
The coal sausage is.
He's like the coal sausage. That was the second one he said. She wants that coal sausage bad.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, but he was, and the thing was, in the context of what we were talking about and what he was saying, it wasn't racist. He wasn't being racist. He was.
There's a difference between racial and racist. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
You know. And you could tell he was saying funny terms for you know.
But it's important that people say what stuff like what Mikey just said. Racial jokes are fucking hilarious.
Yes.
They can be, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
racist jokes should not be hilarious.
Right.
There's a difference. You know, Martin Lawrence had a great stand up after the riots where he was, you know, Martin Lawrence does a good white guy. Like where he's driving, you remember back after and we're talking about the LA riots, right? 90s, where he's on what was the name of the show that he hosted? No, on HBO.
Def Comedy Jam.
Def Comedy Jam, right.
Yeah,
where it was actually the Chris Tucker episode, the one where it made Chris Tucker famous. Man, I got rats and roaches like Crips and Bloods. Michael, get out of the car, Tito. Slow down, Tito. But Martin Lawrence had said something. He was like, you know, the riots. He's like, man, white people were so nice that day. I try to get over in traffic. They're like, hey, come on, love you, love you. Come on in. Let me know when you're good.
Come on in, guy. Come on in.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that is funny, and like, it's funny both ways. I've gone to a white comedian one time where I went with our motorcycle group. It's almost all black, and the guy's talking, you know, telling racial centered jokes, and everybody's dying because he did it in a way. I don't even know who this comedian was. It was just some like local show. He did it in a way where it was honest comedy.
Yes.
Right.
Like I've seen shows, and I've seen comedians, white comedians, do stand up and tell black jokes, and the shit is funny. It's not racist, but you as a human, you know the tone. As a human, you know when it's laughing with people or laughing at or trying to denigrate and disrespect people.
And the hardest part of trying to do racial humor is it has to be objectively funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can't just be like my white friends love that joke, and then all the black people are like, not funny. If it's not funny across all party lines, it's not going to fly, and you're going to end up looking like a racist.
And we can't fall into that. We can't fall into that one fuckbag in the room that's going to be offended at everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
There's always anything you say is going to offend one person.
Right.
Here's the thing. Comedy, when it's at its best, can take what is true about our world and find the humor in it. And a lot of times highlight things that other people might not realize are going on, or to educate people in a humorous way. And people always say like, oh well, Chris Tucker can get away with saying this, or whatever. Chris Rock can get away with saying this. Here's the thing: to do racial humor, you need two things. You need to be funny, and you need to be educated. You need to know the truth of what you're talking about.
Oh, Chappelle does that better than anybody.
And and the thing is it just so happens that most of the people that know the truth about the black community are black comedians. That makes sense. But you come up, you have somebody like Louis C.K., and forget about anything else that happened. But somebody like Louis C.K. who worked on a lot of these shows, who grew up with black people, who knew black people, who understood the culture, the society, he could do those jokes, and nobody said anything about it because he knew what he was talking about. And he was objectively funny. So those are the two things you need. It's not that white people can't do that humor, but you need to know what you're talking about. You need to know the truth of it in order to highlight it.
You should put a few more seconds of thought into it if you're a white person.
For sure.
Like Bill Burr will burn it down in a black comedy club.
He's hilarious.
Absolutely.
My man said he's like, sometimes I'm gotta ride the fucking subway. I'm fucking ton of black guys, so I have to fucking act like I'm an undercover cop. I just get out of the subway station.
Bill Burr's his Saturday Night Live monologue was genius.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
So many people too, and Bill Maher does a very good job with that as well. By the way, Bill Maher's comedy is quite good. But Bill Maher rips on white people more than anyone, especially white liberals. He loves ripping on white liberals. And he is one.
A lame name Slickback. That's his name.
Yeah. But the thing is that you just have to be able to take those things with a grain of salt and say, hey, you know what? I think comedians for the most part should get a pass 90 something percent of the time, like Mikey said, as long as it's objectively funny or almost all the way. I don't think you'll ever be 100% funny to everybody, because you just won't be. I mean, even funny joke, but racial jokes have been around. Like, I know like 7 jokes from when I was a kid. 6 of them are somewhat racist. If not overtly. Like the one joke that I remember all the time.
Oh, you're gonna say it?
Oh yeah, I'm ripping on the joke, not it. Would be like, what do you call a Mexican on a bike?
I'm not going there with you.
Right. So but you don't have to. I didn't ask you to come with me. I was going by myself.
Right.
But the point of the matter is that these are the jokes that were told when I was a kid, that were told when I didn't really realize we're talking about 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid. You don't realize at the time that this kid heard it from, their dad or something like that. And then, and then they think it's funny. But then they start to shape in a way that you're not even aware of. They can start to shape your worldview of things. And
that's part of the conditioning sometimes. Yeah,
exactly. It can desensitize you to things. And then when you get older, if you haven't realized it yet, you could tell, and you might realize it's off color, but not associate it with racist. And now, is that joke racist? It's pretty damn close to racist, right? But the thing is like, there are people who will tell that joke in the context of trying to actually tell it as a joke, and then get mad at you if you get upset about it. But that joke is stereotypically, it's funny to people because they believe that that's actually true. You know, like the other one has to do with like, where do you hide a black person's food stamps or something like that? You put them under his work shoes. And the other one that I'm trying to remember, I can't remember what it was, but like these things are, I can understand how people, when they tell these jokes, when they hear these jokes as a kid, it took me 20 years from that to realize that was damaging.
Oh, because you didn't know the stereotypes yet.
Right. You know, I was probably 8 or 9 when I heard these.
Got nuance and understood that what that meant, you know, like black people will tell the joke, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book.
Well, yeah, and anecdotally speaking,
that's a bad joke. But
and anecdotally speaking, from I hung out with only black people way before I realized that like that work shoes joke was harmful, because anecdotally speaking, unfortunately, the black people that I happen to hang out with portrayed, fed into that stereotype. So, so it took me a little bit longer because I happened to be hanging out with a shitty crowd of people who happen to have black skin, so so unfortunately you can even be someone who hangs out in those circles and still not realize it.
Right. But depending upon the circle that you hang out in.
Because of the circle that you hang out in perpetuated that stereotype.
Right.
I say this a lot about my ex-wife. My ex-wife plays every single negative black stereotype that there is. She is every one of them. And even my current wife will say, well, she's this type of person, but she knows that that's the type of person she is because she's unfortunately had to interact with her because of the kids. So, but she is a welfare abuser. She has no intention of ever having a job. She is a welfare abuser. Sure. And the damage that she does by perpetuating that stereotype is astonishingly bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too, is so I know a lot of welfare abusers too, and they all happen to have white skin because most of the people who abuse the welfare system are white. There's that's the problem with the stereotypes, is that they're mostly untrue. They come from a very narrow point of view. I think, kind of like we were talking about before, the biggest thing is the best way to beat racism, to beat sexism, to beat these stereotypes is knowledge. It is knowing about other people, being exposed to other people. That's why people always talk about what's it called, affirmative action, right? Like in schooling and stuff like that. U of M, every once, because they do it, and every once in a while someone will kick up a fuss. Oh, I didn't get into U of M, but if I was black or whatever, and they do some kind of legal dispute, and they always get shot down, right?
Yeah.
The reason
I love when somebody will say, yeah, they told me that they had to hire a black guy, and I was more
right.
I'm like, if they told you that, then why didn't you not go down to the EEOC and file a lawsuit? Well, because you're lying.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
There's no company that's going to tell you, oh yeah, you were more qualified, but we had to hire that guy. Or we had to hire that lady.
You know what actually happened to me? I never told the story on the podcast. I don't think. 2-3 months ago. You guys know I've been looking for a job for a while, and so I had an interview with a company called Weatherweld, roofing company.
Oh God, you want to do roofing?
This was well, no, not as a roofer, but as a territory sales manager.
Oh, okay.
So paid me exactly what I was worth, and was in construction sales, which I've been doing. So I interviewed with the guy. I don't remember his name, but I could probably look it up. So I go through the interview. It's a 30-minute FaceTime call. The guy's loving everything he's hearing from me. Loving it. we get to the end of the interview. He's setting up a second interview with me. He's already said, we want to, what's your availability next week? I want to have a second interview with you and my regional manager, et cetera. Right. Or my director. Okay, great. And then he says to me because he could see in the background on the FaceTime call that there's in our bedroom, there's a cross.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he's like, so you're a Christian? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, it's important. He goes, so seeing that, I'm going to ask you another question. He goes, and I don't want to make this political, he says. And you got to remember, this is when everything's going on. This is before Kenosha, but during everything.
Mm-hmm.
He said, so I need to ask you a question. We have a lot of former police that work here, and I'm a very strong supporter of police. And I just want to make sure that you're not in support of any of these protests that are going on right now.
Oh, shit, for real?
Because I want to make sure that I have a cohesive unit, and we don't want anybody here stirring the pot or supporting protesters.
Sounds legal.
Wow. That sounds legal as shit.
Right? So I went right into the fact that I said, I can support police, and so I said, I'll support Black Lives Matter all I want.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I have 2 African-American daughters, and I'd support them whether or not I had 2 African-American daughters, because the program is, that doesn't mean I don't support police.
Right.
It means that I don't support the corruption and the cover-up within the police. No, not even the jagbag police. You're going to have jagbag police because you're going to have jagbag people. So that's the thing. Police are a certain percentage of human beings are bigoted assholes. Last I checked, police were comprised of people. So therefore, they're going to fall on that same spectrum, same as people work at the gas station or at Amazon. You're going to have the same spectrum of people in the police.
We got to have a better system for weeding those fuckers out from,
Right. It's the fraternity that is the issue, the cover-ups and the fact that they're not personally liable when things happen, and that it actually is the taxpayer money that Breonna Taylor's family got, right?
And so nice.
When it should have been that police officer, even though I'm sure he doesn't have that $12 million, but still, you understand what I'm saying. There's no personal liability for a police officer, and the fraternity covers him up, and the judges give them benefit of the doubt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So, I don't support the fraternal order of police.
Mm-hmm.
In general, we don't want to generalize, but in general. So, but this guy asked me these questions. Guess who didn't get a call back for the job?
Oh, of course not.
So I reached out.
You knew that.
No, I knew right at the time, but I went from being qualified and setting up the next interview. And I asked my wife, 'cause she does HR. I said, "Is that legal?" She said, "It's not illegal for someone to ask you about political leanings. It is illegal if they don't hire you based on your answer."
Well, they're not going to tell you that they're not hiring you based on.
Well, that's the thing. I talked to an attorney, and the attorney was like, "Unfortunately, we hear this often. We think it's great that you've brought it to us, but you're not going to win the case."
Nope.
So they didn't take it.
They'll say any old thing to.
And they were like, "We'll contact the Equal Opportunity Employment Board." I sent them an email, never heard anything back. So it's, I don't know. It was during COVID, so I'm not going to make an assumption. But the point is, I did not go working there because of this guy asked me about my how I feel about race issues, and then I went and looked at his Facebook page. I would have loved to have had a chance to deprogram him. It's sad that I didn't get that chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're at 2 hours and 16 minutes. Mikey and Big House will take us home. I'm going to shut up. Mark, what do you got to pitch?
You can check out Retro Late Fee.
No. Stop.
Stop.
I got to make it longer. I totally forgot. Did you guys see The Mandalorian?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can we spend 10 minutes on that? Is that okay?
Sure.
I got another little article pulled up too, but I'll wait.
Mark, actually, is yours political or Mandalorian related?
I'll let you be the judge. Here we go.
No, you just take it. You got you.
Man arrested as police probe alleged plot to attack Philly vote counting center.
Was it Pedro Pascal? Was it Pedro Pascal that got arrested doing that?
It says,
if not, I'm guessing it's political.
It was an armed man was arrested Thursday night outside of the Pennsylvania Convention Center hosting a vote count after police received word of an alleged plot to attack the location, a new report said. So pretty much homeboy drove from out of state and decided to post up in his Hummer outside of the convention center where they were counting all the ballots.
He really wanted to be the next Kyle Rittenhouse, didn't he?
All right.
Well, this is what happens when you tell people to stand back and stand by.
Correct.
And I will post that link in the thing. That is from the New York Post. But yeah, homeboy was posted up out there with his Hummer with guns in it. And lo and behold, he was ready to shoot up the joint. But the police were on it. Just much like, I'm imagining much like the, what's it called? Those dudes who were trying to kidnap homegirl. And they're
Whitmer.
And their way of setting it.
He's dead, right? They killed this guy.
Oh no! It took him without incident. Took him to Chick-fil-A.
He's not dead.
I mean, he literally wanted to kill people, but I guess that doesn't matter.
So the police must have killed him then.
Did he have Skittles?
I don't know if he had Skittles though.
Nobody autographed a bag of them.
Jeez, oh Pete, yeah. Ugh.
Did you guys know that? Did you know George Zimmerman
Mhm.
autographs bags of Skittles?
Yep,
because he's a piece of shit.
And everybody who takes a bag of Skittles to be autographed is actually a bigger piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They all are.
Yeah.
When that happened, this is the schizophrenia of the state that I live in. When that happened, I was working at a casino in the Motor City at the time, but I won't tell you what casino. And I worked with lots of different people. I smoked at the time, and I'd go out on smoke breaks, and there was like 3 different people who were like, oh, like they were all defending George Zimmerman, and I relished every smoking break because I like to debate anyway, and I would like for long times, and I actually changed one of their minds, thank God. But yeah, I mean, it takes a long time. It takes a lot of talking to these kind of people to finally get it through to them. But and there were other people that were on my side too. It's like, it's what happens in this state is very reflective of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mandalorian.
Yes.
Mark, go ahead. You go first. We'll just go around the horn and talk about our quick thoughts on the show.
So I loved it. Great episode. I was worried about them going back to Tatooine because one of the things I like about the show is it's not so bogged down with a lot of like the Star Wars mythology and stuff like that. Obviously, as we can see in some of the sequel movies, that can get hairy with people. But I was nervous about them going back to Tatooine and everything. But I think the way they did it was great. It was another, like I love these self-contained kind of stories, with this crate dragon, just like a little bit of expansion of the mythology. I don't read a lot of the or any of the expanded stuff like the books or the comic books or anything like that, but I've heard I've heard the word crate dragon and stuff like that. Never knew what it would look like. It was cool, like that kind of expansion of the mythology. And it's like one of the other podcasts I listen to, they have a theory that I think's right on, that all these people that he's meeting, eventually they're all going to be part of his crew. Eventually he's just going to assemble all these people. So what's his name, Justified over there, I can't remember his name.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, Timothy Oliphant. He'll be back. Kara will be back, the lady, and he's going to bring all these people back for some kind of thing. But
did you guys all watch Rebels or the Clone Wars?
I think I seen maybe a couple episodes of the Clone Wars.
You won't get a lot of it if you don't.
Yeah, I know there's stuff that I didn't quite get. I obviously Tamira Morrison, or the New Zealander, Django himself, right at the end, I recognized him. So I've lots of kind of Easter eggy type stuff.
The one-eyed guy was actually John Leguizamo, the one who he hung upside down from the right. Yeah,
I recognize.
Yeah, you would. Mikey, your thoughts on the Mandalorian, and also, what did you think of the Western concept of it? Because this was not only was that guy an actor on that, was it Deadwood? The guy who was in the book.
Justified.
So, what did you guys think of the Western angle of it? Because that was kind of cool. I thought.
Well, I think that's kind of what they hinted at A New Hope. It's like when they were in the cantina and Han is just sitting there and there was like, my friend doesn't like you. Like it's all like that's what, like, if every, like, Cloud City kind of has like that metropolitan feel, but then like Tatooine has always been like West. And I wish that the movies kind of went that way. Like, it was kind of real not gun smoky, but kind of just like real, I don't know. Western is the best probably term for it. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I could see them like riding on Banthas, complete missions. And, I got all these bounties I got to pick up. Then I'm going to head back over to Mos Eisley and bounce over to Dantooine for a little bit. Got a little thing waiting for me over there. Like, that's cool to me. And
thanks for pronouncing it right too. Dantooine. I
pronounce all of my words correctly because I got made fun of as a child.
I called it Tatooine for many years.
No, it's Tatooine and then Dantooine. That's all. It's the two different ones.
Two different spots, buddy.
Yeah. But I love that part of it. I love the little hints. Tusken Raiders. I love that Tusken Raiders got more fleshed out and they finally got some screen time. And they're like, it's very like they're more than just like the little stick figures that Anakin just went ham on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have their own culture and even their language. It's words and actions. You have to like talk and do hand motions. Like, and I thought that was super cool of them. And that the Mandalorian was kind of communicating back with him. He's like, no, and I was like, I'm like, baby, that word is kill. I'm like, yes.
But you saw they did the black guy in the horror movie thing with the one Tusken Raider where you knew that the big monster was going to eat him instead of the Banta. And that poor guy, we knew that he was
gone.
A peon. He was like the guy that you don't know who beams down with Kirk and Scotty.
Ensign Jones.
You're talking about the red shirts. Yeah, the red shirts.
Yeah.
But first 2 minutes of the episode before the credits, opening credits.
And then just real quick, because I know you're into this lore like I am. Do you think that he will? Because right now Luke Skywalker is alive in this, and he is about looking. This would be about the time where he's searching the galaxy for Jedi. Baby Yoda obviously is not the actual Yoda. Are you looking for any Luke Skywalker or actual Yoda references or cameos? We know we're going to get Rosario Dawson probably as Asaka Tano. Is that how you say it?
I believe so.
And what are your thoughts, Mikey, on maybe seeing a reference to Luke or Yoda?
Oh, it's all about the Fett, baby. All you freaks and geeks out there on Fett Life, your wildest Star Wars dreams are about to come true. It's about to be Fett time. As soon as I saw his armor, I was like, where's he? Because in some of the comics and some of the lore, he gets, he kind of
in the comics he lives, yeah.
Well, he went out like a punk in the damn movie where he just got like where is he? From fucking Han Solo, and that just sent him in the Sarlacc pit. But
he's so much like Batman. Like, Batman would never go out like that.
But that's the thing, though. The crate dragon eats Sarlaccs. Where was Boba last seen? In the Sarlacc. So perhaps that's how he got out. Who knows? Maybe that's how we got up out of there.
I can't wait to see that.
Maybe it regurgitated him out when it was getting eaten by the crate dragon. I don't know. Aren't the huts on Tatooine?
Yeah. Well, not all of them. They're scattered throughout the universe.
Well, the huts that had Leia and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where we last saw him, and we just saw a crate dragon eat a Sarlacc.
Did we see that it eat the Sarlacc?
They talked about it.
It's like, oh, it's an abandoned Sarlacc pit. He's like, well, how do you get rid of the Sarlacc? By eating it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The crate dragon eats Sarlaccs.
Oh, I guess it's not all powerful then, like C-3PO had said. But they had in the comic, yeah, slowly. In the comic, though, Boba Fett does his Beskar protects him enough where he's able to rocket ship out of there using probably the same thing that the Mandalorian did to get out of the Krayt Dragon. But and then he like ends up leading a group of former stormtroopers, which they also talked about because those were I'm sorry, not stormtroopers, but clones. Because you see a lot of those guys in Star Wars Rebels and in the Clone Wars, these old disenfranchised clones who are all clones of Boba Fett's dad, as we saw in episode 1 and 2. So, Big Hussein.
I love the spaghetti western type feel.
Spaghetti western, damn it! That's what I wanted.
That's the term what we were waiting for. Yeah,
I love that.
I love spaghetti.
And I especially enjoyed the fleshing out of the Raiders. You know, just kind of getting a little backstory on, and they're not just some dumb, group. They're pretty fucking smart, actually.
Did you notice R5D4 from the first Star Wars movie?
Yeah, I saw him.
So it was cool, and it makes you want to know where it's going. What I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's a good way to start. And then at the end, where you see my man standing there just watching the whole thing, like, okay.
And who was that? Do we know who that was?
That's Boba.
That's what I was. That's what
I think. That's what I was thinking. Was that Boba Fett?
It's the same actor. That's Tamira Morrison. So I mean, he could. I guess technically, he could be a clone. Or
the same actor who played Boba Fett in the movies. It's the same actor who played Jango Fett.
Yeah, so I said earlier,
right.
Tamira Morrison.
Yeah.
Well, guess
He's
what?
From New Zealand.
But that's what what's his face would look like if he got older anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Oh shit! That was Boba the whole time.
So I'm really hoping.
It could be that it's just a clone.
Yeah. No, the clones died. The clones have
not all. There's clones that were still out there.
What was the one guy's name? Rex or something like that?
In the clone, yes, Rex and like 2 or 3 others, and they are alive on Tatooine as far as the Clone Wars go. So we don't know for sure.
They die faster though, and if this is after, they're dead by then because they couldn't wait an entire lifetime for them to grow up. So they grew up super fast, and there was one that they did not speed it up on, and that was Boba.
Right.
Here's my thought process on my man at the end. That is the other Mandalorian that John Leguizamo's character was talking about. He just ran into Timothy Oliphant's character first. That is the one that he was talking about. When he said, "My information is good, and there is another one of your kind on Tatooine," that's who he was talking about. He wasn't talking about somebody walking around in armor. Mm-hmm. He was talking about that guy.
A Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Another thing I liked about this episode a lot is that Baby Yoda's just there.
Yeah, he's not fucking with shit and stuff like that.
I like him. Obviously, I like the character, the child, whatever you want to call him.
The child.
And when he shows up and does stuff, it's cool. But I like that it's not the Baby Yoda show. It's the Mandalorian, right. And I like that they can have him just be there. Like I was
worried about that too.
I was so dreading. I'm like, oh, here the don't let the Krayt Dragon like all of a sudden start floating like when he got that weird like hairy egg, Yeah. He's
so struggling. He's like,
right.
Yeah. But they're doing a good job of building other characters that you can like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like you're going to have the Marshal, which was the guy from this episode. Mm-hmm. You have the drop soldier. Is it Cara Dune? Is that her name?
Yep.
Who's awesome. They're talking about a spin-off for her possibly. So they're building up this lineage of characters who some are from other canon and some are made up for this show.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they're building up, and they're going to add a Shaka. I think I'm saying it right.
Ahsoka
Tano. Right. Thank you. They're building her up. That we know we're going to see her, or we're 90% sure we're going to see her. We're pretty sure we're going to see Sabine Wren from Rebels in this one, because they went off together to look for Ezra. We might even see, but he's building up he's interacting with these characters who you can tell maybe this season, maybe next season, they're going to come face to face, probably with it starts with the M, the black dude with the dark saber.
Gus Fring.
Yeah,
Gustavo Fring.
Yeah, but his name in the show, I forget his name in the show.
I can't remember it either. Yeah,
his name was Gus the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. I call it that because oh, here come Gus.
Yeah,
but they're Giancarlo. Yeah,
but they're building up probably to fight him, and you can tell they're gonna bring all these guys back in for some big ass fucking fight scene with all of his new allies that he's made, and it's gonna be a big like Avengers Endgame type payoff. In a much smaller scale, of course.
I have a guess about who the final boss is, and I may or may not be right. I'm gonna put it in the private chat, and maybe
Darth Maul.
Thank you very much for.
I'm just guessing.
Spoiling my surprise. As soon as I typed it, thanks, Josh. That's what my guess because he's not dead either.
Well, he died in the Clone Wars, right?
No.
I thought Obi-Wan killed him or something, right?
Yeah, he did.
He cut him in half, and his brother came and saved him.
Yeah, his brother came and saved him and because he had like a machine for legs. But then that wasn't Obi-Wan who killed him in the movie. It was because he had just killed Qui-Gon. But then Obi-Wan, with the help of Ashaka, kills him again.
That's what I mean. On Tatooine or dead. Yeah.
But then again, he could have survived that too, because he survived getting cut in half. So
I'm thinking Darth Maul is making an appearance.
Is he out there like the spider dude from the Wild Wild West with Will Smith?
Yeah, he was.
Speaking of Salma Hayek's ass.
Yeah. But that's a perfect call. And he, like, for such a bad movie to give you such a great character.
Oh, Darth Maul
was shit. He was wasted in episode 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He should have been the guy through all 3 of the movies.
They wasted that movie because they wanted to make that stupid pod racing video game.
Yo, that game was lit. Fuck you talking about? That game was amazing.
It was a good game, but that game ruined that movie.
I don't care.
There's a lot wrong.
And then you pay homage to that shit in the fucking in the second.
Oh yeah, he was riding it on a Mandalorian. Do you see when he was riding his little speeder? It looked like a pod racer.
Well, I was referring to the episode of was it the second movie where Luke Skywalker, where it's sort of like that Hoth scene where they're all riding in those pods and they're fighting the AT-ATs, and remember the ground would get red when the thing would hit.
Oh yes, yeah.
But so it was made to be homage to Hoth and at the same time to the pod racing. Was that the second? That was the second movie.
Yeah, that was The Last Jedi, the really divisive one.
Yeah.
So
I gotta watch all those again. I don't even remember them. I was just blind with rage the entire time.
I watched all of them again a few weeks ago, and I have to say,
better second go round.
I like when I watched The Last Jedi in the theater. It was opposite of Justice League. Like when I saw Justice League in the theater, I thought it was like fucking awesome. And then when I saw it the second time, I was like, I think House remembers that was like our 4th episode of this show.
Yeah,
we reviewed Justice League, and Yumi and Tej, we all thought it was awesome that day. And then we started talking about it in time. Like I think we all gave it an 8 or higher, and now we all agree that movie sucked ass.
Yeah, it was not that great.
But Last Jedi was sort of opposite of that for me, because I watched it again and I was like, why did I hate this movie so much?
Everybody talked bad about it, and it kind of ruins your palate if you want to. That's why I don't watch trailers. I don't listen to reviews. I don't. This doesn't really do with the story. But let me tell you, I'm like, don't tell me shit. Don't tell me if it was great. Don't tell me if it sucked. Even if you just say those 2 words, you're gonna fuck me up for the whole movie, and then I can't watch it.
I still hate The Last Jedi though. The Last Jedi has pacing problems. It has structural problems, bad, attempts at comedy. To me, there's a lot structurally wrong with that movie. Now Ryan Johnson was ambitious. I like a lot of the stuff he's trying to do. Like Luke Skywalker is bitter and alone. I like that idea. I like everything with Kylo Ren and Rey is fantastic. It's definitely, to me, it's better than the last one they did, the Rise of Skywalker, which is just like, that's the equivalent of like Homer Simpson's makeup shotgun.
It was just
all over.
They should have just called it Star Wars 37 Kitchen Sink.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a couple things from the movie though that, like, remember in the Force Awakens, very, very beginning of the movie, they talk about how Leia got help from an old ally, and it's that old man that they kill early on, and nobody knows who the fuck he is. At least I don't.
Max von Sydow.
Yeah, but we don't know where he's from. So maybe something with him will pop up in this, because he would obviously have been alive here. And then also, I don't think that the timeline quite adds up to do these characters, because they'd be like probably 5 or 7 years old. But I really want to see the something expanded on the Knights of Ren. I really do. And also like what like perhaps maybe some of the other Jedi that Luke rounds up for that Jedi temple that he rebuilt. But specifically the Knights of Ren, because they're just so damn cool.
But in Mandalorian, they're never gonna. They don't want this to be the Jedi Chronicles. Like this is that's why.
But the Knights of Ren weren't Jedi. Only Kylo is. Right.
But I'm saying, but that's part of like the Jedi storyline. You know what I'm saying? So this is all bounty hunters and smugglers and just like the other gritty people in the Star Wars universe. So so you saw one lightsaber in 12 hours of content.
It wasn't even a lightsaber. It was the dark saber, which is like not really a lightsaber. But see, like, so here's what I want to know. Big Husani, answer this first, since you've been somewhat quiet. Do you want to see them continue with what they've done with Agents of, and we're talking about Disney, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Defenders and all those, where the movies will never reference these shows, but the shows will, in an offhand way, reference the movies. They're obviously doing that so far. Like they had I-88, but not the same I-88. It was like I-56, but he looked exactly the same as the one from Return of the Jedi, the robot. You saw R5D4 from the movie, so these Easter egg characters. But do you want to see them do more of actual tie-in with Star Wars that they didn't do in like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that type of stuff? Because DC did this recently with The Flash, when they brought in the Flash from the Justice League movies and tied everything together. Or do you want them to keep it separate? What do you guys want? Big Hussein, you first.
I like it as its own entity. I like it on its own. I like that because guess what? You know, it allows for people who may not have seen all of that other stuff to enjoy this on its own and not have to try to remember R5D4. And, you know, so for people who are into Star Wars and into really deep into it, it's fun to pick up those little nuances. But I think that if you do greater tie-ins, then you're forcing people who may not have seen or are just not into Star Wars like that to try and pick up on all that stuff. And it confuses them. It muddies the waters for them. And if you're trying to reach that broad audience, the little subtle hints are good enough for those people who are into it. And those who aren't, it may pass over their head and they may see it later like, oh, this is from something else. But they get to enjoy the franchise as it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? so that they don't feel like, oh, I'm missing something important because I don't know this greater reference than a subtle reference. You know what I mean?
Go watch these 9 movies and then you'll get my joke.
Like right now, you guys, like when we started this off, you're like, okay, you got to watch the Clone Wars and you got to watch this to really get some of this stuff.
That's another 120 episodes.
Some people don't want to do that. They want to just watch and enjoy what's being presented. And I think that they're doing a great job of that while sprinkling enough nuance in there for those people who have seen the Clone Wars and have seen these
allegedly
these other Star Wars movies to be like, oh, which is good for them. Because then they'll pull in other people and say, oh, did you see R5D4? I didn't even see it. I got to watch it again. Or I haven't even watched The Mandalorian. But people who are just enjoying it on its own, they can do that and not feel like they're being, they're ignorant to a lot of stuff.
It's still a good show whether or not you saw the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It stands on its own for sure.
Right. And that's what you want.
Now, Mark, you were going to tell us where we can find your shit.
Oh, yeah. You sure you don't want to go another hour?
No, I don't.
Not this week, man.
That's good though, because I get to cut this up into 2 shows when we get more.
Well, there you go. So, all right. So I'll be here for 2 weeks or two different
and you
days.
can give your my bookie ad if you want.
Oh, it's fine. So you can find me at
Have you lost your damn mind?
You can find me at Retro Late Fee, retrolatefee.com, Retro Late Fee on Twitter. Look up our podcast on Retro Late Fee. We do entertainment news and movie reviews as if it is 25 years ago exactly today. So like the last episode that we did came out Tuesday, so I don't remember what that was. No, November 3rd. It was election day. So that was November 3rd, but 1995. So no election. We just watched the movie Get Shorty instead. And
great movie.
And talk.
Did you know that today's November 5th still, right? Or is it the 6th now?
Well, it's the 6th for me.
Okay, yesterday was Back to the Future Day.
What?
They went back to November 3rd, 1985.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I was going to say it wasn't
November 5th, 1985.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we do. That's the that's the twist of our show. Is that's 25 years ago, and I read newspaper articles and stuff like that have to do with entertainment news specifically from that day. And we give no hint that we're actually in 2020. It's all presented as if we're in 1995.
All righty. Well, there we go. Big Hussein, take us home with your final thought. And I want you to give us your prediction. Does Biden get the presidency as part and why as part of this?
Let me answer the easiest question first. Yes, he does. He's gonna keep his lead in Arizona and win there. Clark County and Georgia will come through and give him Georgia. And based on what I'm seeing, the fact that even because they're counting mail-in ballots from red counties that Trump has won like 70% to 30%, but the mail-in ballots that they're counting from these red counties are 70% for Biden. So even as they're finishing up the counts in counties that overall Trump is going to win in Pennsylvania, the late vote counts that are coming in are still giving Biden votes because so many people that chose to do mail-in happen to be Democratic.
Inconceivable.
Even like, yes, it's coming down to Philadelphia and Atlanta and stuff like that. These
You are fake news.
These predominantly black areas or predominantly Democratic areas. But here's the thing. The late count in these states, even from red counties where Trump is going to win overall, these late ballots that are being counted are coming from predominantly Democratic people. So he's going to get the presidency as far as the vote count. Then we just have to go through the whole rigmarole of the challenges and the recounts and all of that bullshit. But historically, recounts don't change much, if anything. So, yes, he's going to get the presidency. And hopefully what needs to happen, and this is the take-home portion, what needs to happen is, number one, the way we turned out, the way people turned out to vote is the way people also need to turn out. They need to turn out in the midterms. They need to turn out for every election like this. And we must push to get corporate money out of politics.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Damn, he turned it back up.
Okay.
Here's to you, Mr. Oil Pack Donator.
Right.
Mr.
We gotta get that. We got to get those that lobbyist and corporate interest
beautiful coal
out of politics, because only when all of that is removed will politicians be beholden to the constituency and not the corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. As long as you've got the Koch brothers, well,
Amen.
The Koch brother, because
right.
The other one died, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as you got the Koch family dumping $100 million into somewhere, who do you think those politicians are going to be beholden to?
I wish Pepsi would just take them out.
So what we have to do,
Steve Bannon,
get this corporate money out. You see, I'm going to blow right past that. Get the corporate money out. If people show up and vote, like they showed up and voted this year and like back in 2008 and 2012 when Obama was running. We need that type of turnout all the time and more, and get the corporate money out, because then, we hear a lot, especially for minorities. We hear a lot of the Democratic Party forgets about you after the election. Well, partially that's true, because guess what? You know why? That's not where they're getting their money from. Okay. So if we get the corporate money out, now all of these minorities and marginalized communities that are voting for these policies that they're hoping to get put through, once we're anti-corporate money, politicians being beholden to the constituency that's actually voting them in, then you can more effectively put their feet to the fire. We've got to put their feet to the fire anyway. We got to put Biden and Kamala's feet to the fire. We've got to put all of these people, whether you're red or blue or whatever, you need to put your politicians, your elected officials' feet to the fire and be on their ass. Be on their ass about fulfilling the promises that they made. And if they won't, red, blue, or whatever, either take your vote and take it to a third party then if that's not going to happen. But corporate money, the corporate money has to be taken out. Has to be taken out, because as long as it's there, their allegiance isn't to us. Their allegiance is to the corporations.
Yep.
I agree.
Well, there you go. Agreed also. And just to reiterate, if Joe Biden, whatever adverb you want to use, wins and he's in the White House, day one, we're going to start holding you accountable too. So
that's right.
This isn't the end; it's the beginning.
Right.
That's right.
And the sad thing is, the thing that I'm worried about is that because they have the Senate, he's not going to get much done on purpose. Not from him, but from.
Well, here's the thing too, though.
That's what the midterms are for.
If the Democrats
win
these runoffs in Georgia, because there's 2 runoffs coming up in Georgia on January 5th.
Yep.
If they win these runoffs, guess who has the Senate?
Right now it's we'll have to see. Yeah, it'd be then Kamala Harris would be the tiebreaker. I think right now it's 47-47. So there's 6 available, and I think the Republicans are leading in 4. And you got to remember, one of the runoffs it was 2 Republicans versus 1 Democrat in Georgia. So
Yeah, but the it's down to
Now it's down to 2, but the Democrat only got like 42% of the vote. The 2 Republicans together got. So I don't know why the math is working that way, because you would think that the people voting for the Senate wouldn't be voting for one Democrat and one Republican, would they? I mean, maybe they are. Doesn't make sense.
And I don't want to make the show go any longer, but I can't wait for Trump to be out of office because the Southern District of New York has some shit cooking for you.
They're going to be.
Yes.
They're going to be waiting on November.
Donald.
They're very tight
and
about
play.
Oh, I know. I can't
All right,
wait.
well-
You thought that impeachment shit was over, motherfucker. Guess what?
About to impeach that ass.
Oh my god.
All right, so we'll have many shows during the week here on YouTube. I'm sure Haas will probably do a humidor this weekend. I'm sure.
I'm gonna do one sometime this weekend just about the Criollo leaf and
do the Michael Jordan championship cigar.
and when I light that Trump on fire.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I might do them both in the same little thing, but we'll see.
Awesome.
I might have to wait until inauguration day because we
still got plenty of time to cheat his way out of it.
We got weeks of fighting before everything is official. So
What if he okay? I hate to make it just real quick though. What if he steps down a week before or a day before inauguration day? Pence is sworn in and pardons him.
He can't do. That's what this is. Southern District
From
of
the
New
state
York.
crimes, he can't. But there's going to be federal crimes too.
Right. So he can get pardoned from the federals, and they're still going to go to jail for a long time for the state crimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some would call that a Trump card.
Yeah. he might not go to federal pound you in the ass prison, but he's going to a prison.
This is
he might want to go to the Fed prison over the state joint.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Be waiting for you, big boy.
Hey, guess what? Guess who's coming to Rikers?
The guy who used to mark applications with a C.
Right.
He'll need this.
Oh,
one
wait, real quick. So Donald Trump just tweeted, "I easily win the presidency of the United States with legal votes cast."
Because with
I didn't
legal
get a chance
votes
to read it
cast,
all.
with legal votes cast, he wins. But then when you add the illegal votes in, he loses.
The observers were not allowed in any way, shape, or form to do their job, and therefore votes accepted during this period must be determined to be illegal votes. U.S. Supreme Court should decide. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
But now we know why he rushed it through.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't even think the SCOTUS will let that shit.
They're not going to hear it.
They're not going to let that shit fly. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well, they'll hear it, but they're not going to. I don't think they're going to. I honestly, I'll tell you who I think will be the one who votes against it. It's going to be Kavanaugh, because I'll say this: Kavanaugh is judicious and he's not an originalist. So
Roberts will vote against it too.
Roberts will vote against it in a heartbeat, but you got to now you got to have 5.
Maybe
so
maybe
who's
Barrett
number
will
5?
vote against it too. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's a ridiculous argument.
I think
they
she was
had
picked,
cameras in Philadelphia.
I think she was picked specifically because of how she would vote. Honestly.
I think she was picked how she would vote on something else.
Trump's gonna learn all about boofing with Spliffy in the gang.
It's sweet.
It was sweet.
He's gonna be squeeing.
Right.
All right, kids. Mark, thanks a lot, brother. Guys, we'll talk to the listeners lots and lots this week. So go fuck yourself, San Diego, as TJ would say.
Bye. Peace. 2 fingers.